Chapter 1645. But neither of them had experienced love before, and they hadn't felt the magic of love, so they didn't have much of a say. Xiao Ming already had a child, but when it came to love, she'd only dreamed of it, not experienced it. Hee, but I'll be able to see Lin Yi Honey soon, I'm so happy. Xiao Xiao said, man, I left in a hurry this time, I wonder what good stuff the Ice Palace has, I should bring some for Lin Yi Honey and Tang Yun Sis. Cough. Xiao Xiao, you're the future palace master of the Ice Palace, you can't be helping an outsider. Bing Tang coughed. I don't. Since I'm the future palace master, then the Ice Palace is my family's, and that means it's Lin Yi Honey's. Is there a difference? Xiao Xiao asked. Bing Tang suddenly regretted making Xiao Xiao stay. Was she inviting a wolf into the house? This girl wasn't even the palace master yet, and she was already thinking of taking the Ice Palace's assets. Wouldn't she have to move? But Bing Tang knew that Xiao Xiao was mostly joking, so she wasn't annoyed. When you get to Sky Class and go after higher realms, you won't care about these things anymore, yeah, but at that time, Lin Yi Honey has to become Sky Class, or I'll be bored myself. Xiao Xiao said. Holy Hall Xiao Ming was a bit envious of Xiao Xiao, happy for her daughter as well. It was the same type of girls who fell in love with the same man, but their lives were completely different from hers. They were from two different worlds. Their lives were filled with love and sunshine, and they lived in harmony. She, on the other hand. In Hidden House Xiao, her position was lower than a servant. Luckily, Bing Tang was here, and she had freedom. To be honest, she didn't have any love for Boss Tang anymore. She had looked forward to it when she accepted her fate, but now she didn't have any feelings for him at all. She even wanted to leave Hidden House Tang if she could. But, she was afraid that her sister and brother-in-law wouldn't accept her. She was afraid that they would think that she was trying to snatch Tang Yun away from them. Xiao Ming couldn't help but sigh. She was a little lost about her future. Auntie, you don't have to worry. I heard from Xiao Xiao that my Tang Yun sis is a reasonable person. She's easy to get along with. With Xiao Xiao's help, we won't be discriminated against or bullied. Rock Candy said, since Xiao Xiao is so confident, we don't have anything to worry about. Yeah, Aunt Ming, it's fine. Tang Yun sis and I are the best. Xiao Xiao comforted, you'll know when we get there. With Rock Candy and Xiao Xiao's persuasion, Xiao Ming calmed down a little, and so, the four prepared to leave. As for Rock Candy going to Songshan to see her birth parents, old Tang, naturally, wasn't too willing. If Rock Candy went alone, she would be bypassing the Hidden House Tang. To be honest, she didn't have much to do with the Hidden House Tang. At that time, the Ice Palace would definitely distance themselves from the Hidden House Tang. This wasn't the result old Tang wanted to see. So, after Rock Candy and the others left, old Tang once again gathered the family members and held a short family meeting to discuss how to maintain a good working relationship with the Ice Palace in the future. Old Tang sat there with his head down, not saying a word. He had been feeling very wrong these past few days. She was his daughter, but now she wasn't. In order to maintain his position as the head of House Tang, he had to go back and hug House Yu's thigh, getting mocked by Yu Xiaoxin. As for Xiao Ming, he wasn't that enthusiastic anymore. No matter what, Xiao Ming was only Rock Candy's aunt. If he tried to please Xiao Ming, it wouldn't be of much use. Rock Candy didn't even acknowledge him as her uncle. A father and an uncle were worlds apart. If Rock Candy didn't recognize him as her father, he still had a chance to slowly repair the relationship. After all, they were father and daughter. But if it was her uncle, there was no hope at all. So, when Xiao Ming left, old Tang let out a sigh of relief. If she left, then so be it. This time, he had a reason to let Yu Xiaoxin out of the cold palace. Old Tang, tell me, how can we let the Ice Palace Master keep taking care of our hidden Tang family? The duck that was about to be cooked flew away. Now, I'm afraid we're just like the Ice Palace's vassals. She only treats us as her eyes and ears, not as her confidants. She can just leave us whenever she wants. This kind of relationship is too unstable. Old Tang was an understanding person. We and the Ice Palace don't have any beneficial relationship. It's very easy for us to part ways, father, this. I can't do anything about it. Old Tang smiled bitterly. If the sky wants to rain, the mother will have to marry. This is an unchanging truth. Rock Candy doesn't have much of a relationship with our Tang family anymore. It's not realistic to expect her to always take care of us. Plus, the Ice Palace doesn't seem to be lacking in money. They don't need us to help them manage their business. It's really difficult. Big brother, you're wrong about that. Before old Tang said anything, second brother spoke first. That Tang Juchen, isn't he also a branch of our Tang family? He's considered one of us. We can give him a villa nearby. That way, when his whole family moves here, the Ice Palace master can come back to visit when she misses her parents. This way, she'll have more opportunities to interact with our hidden Tang family. Won't this kind of relationship be nurtured slowly? That makes sense. Old Tang nodded after hearing second brother's words. Second brother, you're not bad. You have some brains. It's decided then. Dad, the villas around here cost tens of millions to hundreds of millions. Spending such a huge investment. Eldest Tang did not usually have much money in his private savings. Although he was the head of the family, he still had Grandpa Tang above him. Therefore, he only had a few million a year. Spending tens of millions to buy a villa for Tang Juchen was a bit of a loss. Compared to the Ice Palace Master's special treatment, what's 100 million? I'll buy it. Old Tang said. Just as Lin Yi and Tang Yun's family were about to leave, a couple of uninvited guests arrived at the Chu villa. Of course, one of them surprised Lin Yi. When Lin Yi opened the door and Xiao Xiao threw herself into his arms, he was a bit stunned. Xiao Xiao. You're back. Lin Yi was only a golden class late phase peak, but dodging Xiao Xiao's pounce was a piece of cake. He didn't dodge because he recognized her. Target equals _blank. Chapter 1646. Lin Yi honey, did you miss me? Xiao Xiao was very excited to see Lin Yi. It was only half a month, but it felt like 3 years had passed. Of course I did. Lin Yi let Xiao Xiao hug him, shocked. You're a golden class early phase already. Yeah, I'm only golden class early phase, still far from you. Xiao Xiao was a little dejected. She'd planned to come back and show off to Lin Yi when she became a sky class, but now that she had the chance to come back and visit her family, she decided to come back first. Xiao Xiao. Meng Yao, Yushu, and Tang Yun heard the doorbell as well. Lin Yi came out first, and they followed right behind him. They were surprised to see Xiao Xiao hanging on Lin Yi. No way, Xiao Xiao, you're a sky class now. Yushu's eyes went wide as she looked at her former partner with a bitter face. I'm still a normal person, and you're already a master. The prank duo has to disband, haha. We can't disband. Xiao Xiao couldn't hang on Lin Yi anymore now that the girls were here. She jumped off Lin Yi and smiled at Yushu. Old partner, long time no see. You're bored without me, right? Yeah, I don't even know who to mess with. I can't mess with Shield bro, can I? Yushu nodded. You're not leaving now that you're back. Going to university with us? I can't, I'm only here to visit family with Bingtang sis. I'm only golden class early phase now, I still have to go back. Xiao Xiao shook her head. I need to be sky class to fully unleash my cold attribute, and I won't be bothered by the cold energy anymore. I see. Yushu was a little disappointed. Bingtang, that girl, is here too. Lin Yi was a little surprised. Isn't she an orphan? Why is she visiting family? Does she have relatives in Songshan? Who are you calling a little girl? Before Xiao Xiao could say anything, a cold voice sounded. Crystal Candy was already standing in front of Lin Yi. Lin Yi was startled by her sudden appearance. He thought to himself that this heaven stage expert was no different from a ghost. She was soundless and he couldn't sense anything at all. However, Lin Yi wasn't afraid of her now. He said indifferently, "If you're not a little girl, then are you a man? Do you want to die?" Crystal Candy was pissed off by Lin Yi's words, but because of Xiao Xiao, she couldn't do anything. Plus, it wasn't just Xiao Xiao's relationship right now, there was Tang Yun as well. If she really touched Lin Yi, then she wouldn't be able to recognize him anymore. So, Bing Tang could only give in and glare coldly at Lin Yi, but she didn't make a move. Holy Church, Lin Yi was just saying it casually. He didn't think that Crystal Candy would really endure it. He felt a little strange. Originally, Lin Yi wanted to use Crystal Candy's anger to show off his golden class late phase peak strength. Then, Crystal Candy would be confused as to why his strength dropped, and Lin Yi would have a reason to ask Crystal Candy how to deal with the 5-step dispersion. Even if Crystal Candy didn't ask, Xiao Xiao would ask anyway. But Crystal Candy didn't give Lin Yi the chance. Without a reason, Lin Yi couldn't just ask Crystal Candy like this. He wasn't that close with her, and asking her like this was a little embarrassing. Back then, Lin Yi had told Bing Tang and Qing that a hero's background didn't matter, and that he would definitely become a golden class refiner within 2 years. But now, not only did he have no clue how to become a refiner, his strength had dropped. This made Lin Yi feel very embarrassed, especially in front of Crystal Candy, a sky class late phase peak girl. "I'm living pretty well for now. I can't die before I fulfill my promise," Lin Yi said. "Humph." Crystal Candy laughed coldly after hearing Lin Yi's words. "Purposely showing your golden class late phase peak strength for me to see. Ugh." Lin Yi didn't expect his plan to be discovered by Crystal Candy. He felt a little awkward. "Ugh, I've been poisoned recently, and my strength has dropped." "Poisoned?" Xiao Xiao was shocked. "Lin Yi honey, what poison did you get? Are you okay?" 5-step dispersion. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. "My strength can only reach golden class late phase peak for now. Once I reach mystic, my strength will quickly disappear, and I'll become a normal person." "Ah. That's strong." Xiao Xiao started and quickly turned to Bing Tang. "Bing Tang sis, do you have a way to cure it? Hurry up and help Lin Yi honey." Lin Yi was happy. Xiao Xiao was the one who brought it up. This way, Lin Yi wouldn't lose face in front of the sky class girl. If Bing Tang was an elder, Lin Yi naturally wouldn't be ashamed to ask her questions, but the problem was that Bing Tang was just a little girl around his age. Asking him to be so thick-skinned as to ask all this and all that, Lin Yi felt a little awkward. 5-step dispersion. You can't even cure such a simple poison, and you still want to be a refiner? Crystal Candy looked at Lin Yi mockingly. "I can, but there's spring grass." "I don't have it right now," Lin Yi said, unwilling to back down. Crystal Candy nodded. It seemed that Lin Yi wasn't completely clueless. Since he knew about spring grass, naturally, he knew how to cure the poison. "Crystal Candy sis, do we have spring grass in the Ice Palace?" Xiao Xiao asked quickly. Crystal Candy patted her forehead, feeling a little dizzy. "Xiao Xiao, we don't grow spring grass in the Ice Palace. Plus, spring grass only grows in spring, and it's only effective when it's fresh. It's already withered now. So that's how it is." Xiao Xiao understood now. No wonder Lin Yi didn't have the antidote yet. He didn't have the ingredients for the antidote. But she didn't give up. "What do we do now, Crystal Candy sis?" "There's nothing we can do about it." We'll just wait until next spring. Maybe your husband has a better solution. Crystal Candy said faintly. He's really amazing. Even a sky-class girl like me can't do it. There's no other way. As long as you break through to Earth class, the poison will be cured. But, breaking through from Golden class late phase peak to Earth class is a little difficult. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. I've been trying, but there's no result yet. Lin Yi's words surprised Bing Tang. Golden class late phase peak to Earth class all of a sudden. Only inheritors could do that, right? How could one break through so many levels with other methods? Chapter 1647. Bingtang sis, do you have any ideas? Xiao Xiao asked. For example, can we give some of our qi to Lin Yi's honey and let him break through? How is that possible? Our practitioners' arts are different. Do you want to freeze him to death? Let me think about it. Let's not talk about this for now. Bingtang shook her head helplessly. She understood that Lin Yi was in trouble, but he didn't want to say it because of his pride. Xiao Xiao, on the other hand, cooperated and said it for him. Yeah, let's go in first. Xiao Xiao suddenly remembered that the main purpose of everyone coming here was for Auntie Ming and Bingtang to reunite, so she quickly said. When Bingtang appeared, Tang Yun stood not far away and looked at her. She felt a sense of familiarity, as if she had met her somewhere before, but she was sure that she hadn't. Since she was Xiao Xiao's senior sister, then she was the palace master of Ice Palace. How would Tang Yun know such a high and mighty person? The moment Xiao Ming and little Qing walked out of the car not far away, Tang Yun's gaze paused on Xiao Ming. That moment made her feel a little suffocated. If the previous rock candy gave her a familiar feeling, then this Xiao Ming who appeared later made Tang Yun feel a sense of closeness as if they were connected by blood. It was a sense of closeness that came from the bottom of her heart. She stood there in a daze, not knowing what to do as she stared at Xiao Ming. Xiao Ming's gaze was on Tang Yun from the start to the end. She didn't need anyone to introduce her, nor did she need to confirm. She could already confirm that this girl was her daughter, Tang Yun. This sense of closeness was even stronger than when she first met Rock Candy. If it weren't for her worries, Xiao Ming would have rushed up and hugged Tang Yun and cried. It had been almost 20 years, and this was the first time Xiao Ming saw her own flesh and blood. She was still alive, and just like Bingtang, so beautiful. Xiao Ming was so excited that she couldn't even walk properly. Little Qing reacted quickly and held on to Xiao Ming, bringing her over to Lin Yi's side. Tang Yun was surprised, but she was surprised that Xiao Ming seemed to be looking at her. He looked at her, and she looked back at him. Yao Yao. Look at that person. Tang Yun held Menyao's hand guiltily, gesturing towards Xiao Ming's direction. At first, Chu Mengyao didn't notice this, but after Tang Yun's reminder, she followed Tang Yun's gaze and looked at Xiao Ming in surprise. She then turned to look at Tang Yun, and a strange expression appeared on her face. You. Mengyao didn't know how to put this into words, but the two looked very similar. Lin Yi noticed Tang Yun's weird behavior as well. He followed her gaze to Xiao Ming and frowned. He turned to Xiao Xiao and asked, Xiao Xiao, what's wrong? That person. Husband Lin Yi, let's go into the house and talk. Xiao Xiao didn't know how to broach the subject either. This was something they could talk about when they sat down in the house. Lin Yi nodded. His instincts told him that Bingtang's sudden visit wasn't as simple as it seemed. Family visit? What family visit? Thinking of Xiao Ming and Tang Yun, Lin Yi's heart skipped a beat. Bingtang's family visit wasn't for Tang Yun, was it? Ever since Tang Yun got involved with the hidden Tang house, Lin Yi had been very suspicious. He didn't dare make such a bold guess, since Tang Yun and Bingtang's identities were worlds apart. How could they be related? But now, if Tang Yun was related to the hidden Tang house, then it might be related to Bingtang. The group entered the living room and sat down. Bingtang took a deep breath. Even as the sect master of the Ice Palace, she was a little nervous. But Xiaoming didn't have much experience, so it was best for her to explain at a time like this. She had to have a topic to explain, and Bingtang couldn't help but look at Xiao Xiao for help. Heh, senior sis, leave it to me. But you need to help with Lin Yi, honey. Xiao Xiao took the chance to extort. Alright, I'll think of something. Bingtang was being blackmailed, but she could only accept it. Lin Yi, honey, Tang Yun sis, Yao Yao sis, Shu, let me introduce everyone. This is my senior sis, Bingtang. She's Auntie Qing, an elder of our Ice Palace, and she's Bingtang sis's aunt. Xiao Xiao introduced everyone before continuing. This time, Bingtang sis and Auntie Ming are here to visit family, and I'm here to visit everyone. Visit family? Aunt? Lin Yi frowned. Didn't the sect master say that you were an orphan in the Ice Palace? How come you have an aunt now, and you're here to visit family? Through the hidden Tang family, I found out about my identity. I came here this time to see my biological parents, as well as the little sister who was supposed to be my aunt's daughter but became my parents' daughter by mistake. Bingtang said guiltily as she looked at Tang Yun. Tang Yun seemed to have sensed something, and her body shook. She looked at Bingtang in disbelief, and then at Xiaoming, guessing what was going on. Bingtang couldn't be talking about her, could she? Bingtang's parents were her parents. As for Xiaoming, she was his mother. Bingtang's hint was very obvious, and if Tang Yun could tell, so could Lin Yi. He smiled and held Tang Yun's hand, telling her not to be nervous. Sect master, you're not saying that Tang Yun is your sister, are you? Tang Yun's face changed slightly, and Bingtang took a deep breath. Xiao Xiao interrupted, it's actually like this. Bingtang sis is Tang Yun sis's cousin, and Auntie Ming is Tang Yun sis's birth mother. It's very simple. It was a complicated relationship, but it became a lot easier after Xiao Xiao pointed it out. In an instant, everyone went silent, especially Tang Yun, who held on to Lin Yi's hand, not knowing what to do. Xiaoming and Bingtang were a little better, since they'd already been shocked. Since they came here, they were prepared, but Tang Yun was the one who couldn't accept it. Everything was fine, and suddenly, she had a mother, and a sister of the sect master. I. Tang Yun didn't know what to say. She looked at Lin Yi nervously and only managed to say 2 words. Plentips. Chapter 1648. Tang Yun. Don't be nervous, I don't have any other intentions for coming here. Xiaoming saw how panicked Tang Yun was and quickly said, we didn't go to you and brother-in-law's place because we wanted to consider your feelings first. If you can't accept it, then we'll forget about it and pretend it never happened. I'll leave, no. Tang Yun's heart ached when she heard that. This was her birth mother. She hadn't seen her for so many years, and now that she saw her again, how sad would she be if she rejected her? Of course, Tang Yun also felt that Xiaoming and Rock Candy wouldn't lie to her about this. After all, there was no benefit to lying to her. Science was so advanced, and there was DNA testing. It was easy to see through a lie. 7 asterisk, and so, Tang Yun subconsciously said no. She did feel a sense of closeness towards Xiaoming, but she just couldn't accept it right now. This matter is complicated enough. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. It was simple, but the complicated part was the relationship between everyone. Tang Yun sis, don't worry. Senior sis is a good person, and she only came this time to see your parents, her birth parents. After that, she'll go back to the Ice Palace. It won't affect your lives. Xiao Xiao explained for Rock Candy, but if you don't want to, it's fine too, no. It's not that I don't want to, but it's too sudden, and I can't accept it all at once. Tang Yun shook her head. No one would be able to accept this. Even Lin Yi would be shocked for a long time when two people suddenly appeared and said they were his parents, let alone a girl like Tang Yun. Holy hall, then. Think about it, there's no rush. We'll talk about other things after you think about it. Rock Candy said softly, Tang Yun sis, let Xiao Xiao stay with you. Auntie and I will wait for you in the living room. Crystal Candy gave Xiao Xiao a look, telling her to help out and persuade them. She was the only one who could help them now. Tang Yun sis, we haven't seen each other in a long time. Let's go have a chat. With that, Xiao Xiao pulled Tang Yun's hand and walked upstairs. She knew the structure of the villa like the back of her hand, since she used to be a part of this place. Lin Yi didn't follow up, instead, he said to the Miss and Shu, Yao Yao, Shu, you guys go up and help Yun Yun. She's never been through something this big before, so she definitely doesn't have any ideas. The Great Wall. Alright. Meng Yao didn't hesitate and pulled Yushu upstairs. In the living room, only Lin Yi, Rock Candy, Qing, and Xiao Ming were left. Lin Yi, you're living quite the life, four beauties. Rock Candy said sarcastically after the four girls went upstairs. She wasn't a stranger to having groups of wives and concubines. Many ancient sects and families were like this, but that was because they had the strength to do so. Lin Yi was just a small freelancer, and he was weak as well. Yet, he had so many beauties, and one of them was the future palace master of Ice Palace, and the other one was her own cousin. This made Rock Candy a little uncomfortable. If Lin Yi was a sky class, she would accept it. Or if Lin Yi was an advanced refiner, that was an even more popular profession. It wouldn't be surprising if he had 100 wives, but Lin Yi was nothing. It's alright. Lin Yi didn't seem to hear Rock Candy's sarcasm and said faintly, don't you think that I'm weaker than you, so you look down on me? Rock Candy felt a little awkward at Lin Yi's bluntness. It wasn't that big of a deal before. Why would she care about Lin Yi's thoughts? But it was different now. With Xiao Xiao here, Bingtang had to give Xiao Xiao some face, right? Now that Tang Yun was here, Lin Yi's identity was equal to Rock Candy's brother-in-law. Rock Candy really couldn't belittle him too much. So what if I am? To be honest, with your current strength, you're not good enough for Xiao Xiao. But Rock Candy was a prideful person, and since Xiao Xiao and Tang Yun weren't here, she didn't hold back. Then with your vision, what kind of person is good enough for Xiao Xiao? Lin Yi asked with a smile instead of getting angry. Sky class late phase peak, or a golden class third level refiner and above, Rock Candy said. Oh, then what kind of person is good enough for you? Lin Yi couldn't let Rock Candy tease him all the time, so he would tease her at the right time. Surpassing me in strength and being a mystic first-level refiner, Rock Candy said. Hearing Rock Candy's words, Lin Yi couldn't help but find it funny. Rock Candy was now a sky-class late-phase peak master. Surpassing her was the legendary Heaven's Path. As for whether there were levels after that, Lin Yi wasn't sure. As for a mystic first-level refiner, that was also a legendary existence. It was hard to say whether or not they existed in reality. Ha! Lin Yi smiled faintly. Is it funny? Rock Candy was just purposely making Lin Yi angry. She knew that this kind of person was hard to find, but she didn't have any thoughts of choosing a partner right now. Her ultimate goal was to pursue Heaven's Path. Once she entered Heaven's Path, her lifespan would be extended. Even if she wanted to find a partner, it had to be of the same level. From what I see, only I can reach this level. You need to pray. If I can't reach it, you'll be a widow for the rest of your life, Lin Yi said with a troubled expression. Pfft. Rock Candy heard Lin Yi's words and almost burst out laughing, ha 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 ha. Lin Yi, you're really arrogant, you. What about me? Lin Yi said with a serious face. You want to take in all the sisters? Senior sister, junior sister, cousin, cousin, cousin. That's a lot of names. Rock Candy pouted. I order them according to the order of entry. I don't care if you're a senior sister, cousin, or cousin. After you enter the door, you'll be my little wife. Lin Yi said. Good, very good. Rock Candy was amused by Lin Yi. Then I'll wait for the day when I become your little wife. Actually, you look pretty good when you smile. You're usually so cold and boring. Lin Yi looked at the little dimples on Rock Candy's face and said. Rock Candy put away her smile and said faintly, the joke is over. Lin Yi, remember what I said. Xiao Xiao can't wait for you for too long. Also, you promised me the Ice Heart Jade Bone Pill. If you don't have it, then I can only let Xiao Xiao be the inheritor. Chapter 1649. I'm not joking with you, I'm telling the truth. Lin Yi said. Which one? You want to surpass me in strength and become a mystic first-level refiner? Candy frowned. Oh, I guess so, but I'm mainly saying that you need to smile more. My Xiao Xiao loves to smile, I don't want her to become a cold beauty because of you, Lin Yi said. Are you done? Bing Tang gnashed her teeth in anger. I am, Lin Yi said. In the room upstairs, Tang Yun stared blankly at the blue sky outside the window, not saying a word. Xiao Xiao held her hand and sat beside her. Meng Yao and Yushu, on the other hand, didn't know what to say. This was someone else's family business, and it was the hardest thing to get involved in. They understood how Tang Yun was feeling, but this knot in her heart had to be solved by herself. So, no one said a word. They stayed with Tang Yun until the sky turned dark. Meng Yao walked over and turned on the lights when the room was completely dark. Holy Hall, the light seemed to wake Tang Yun up from her melancholy. She turned around and saw Xiao Xiao, Meng Yao, and Yushu beside her. She felt touched. She'd been in a melancholy state and didn't notice the people beside her. It was as if they didn't exist. Only now did she feel the warmth of a family. You guys. You're all here. Sorry, I made you guys worry, Tang Yun said, embarrassed. Yun Yun, what are you talking about? You're a part of this family, a good friend of ours, it's normal for us to worry about you. Meng Yao said. We didn't want to disturb you when we saw how quiet you were, but now we have something to talk to you about. Yun Yun, look at you, you're so blessed. You already have a mom, and now you have another one, and I don't even know where my mom is. In comparison, you're so much happier than me. Yeah, my mom's still in the ice coffin. I need to level up to sky class to cure her. Yun Yun sis, you're much stronger than me. Xiao Xiao said. Yes. My mom and dad are doing research every day, and I don't know what they're researching. We can't even see them. Yushu said. Holy Church, hee. Thank you. Actually, I've thought it through. Tang Yun put on a smile and said to everyone, I was just a bit shocked before, and I couldn't change my mindset for a while. But now that I think about it, it's nothing. With you guys and Lin Yi here, I'm not afraid of anything. Have you thought it through? Xiao Xiao saw the smile on Tang Yun's face and felt a little happy. She thought that Tang Yun would need a long time to think about it, at least an entire night, but she was able to think it through in one afternoon. This was a little out of her expectations. Actually, there's nothing to think about. You guys are right, although I don't feel comfortable, suddenly realizing that the parents I've lived with for 19 years aren't my real parents, they're not blood related, but they're closer than that. What's there for me to worry about? Tang Yun said. Plus, I'm an adult now, and I have a boyfriend. I'm not a kid anymore. Let's go then. We'll go downstairs, Bing Tang sis and the others are probably waiting for us. Xiao Xiao said. All right. Tang Yun nodded and went downstairs with Xiao Xiao and the others. As expected, they saw Lin Yi with Bingtang, Qing, and Xiao Ming in the living room. The three didn't have much to talk about. Lin Yi was watching TV, and Bingtang was helplessly watching with Lin Yi. Although she could watch satellite TV in the Ice Palace, a cultivator like her was more focused on cultivation. She wasn't very interested in TV programs. You guys came down. Lin Yi saw that Tang Yun's face had returned to her usual calmness and relaxed. He knew that she had thought it through. Yes. Tang Yun was the first to nod and walk to Lin Yi's side, looking at Xiao Ming and Bingtang with a gentle gaze. Then. What should I call you guys? Anything. You can also call me auntie like Bingtang. Tang Yun's current identity was Xiao Ming Sis's daughter, after all. Tang Yun saw the bitterness on Xiao Ming's face, and her heart ached. Although she was a bit bashful and calling out "Mom" made her feel awkward, Xiao Ming's helplessness at that moment made Tang Yun blurt out the word "Mom." Although it was a bit shaky, it was the most difficult step she had taken. Xiao Ming was surprised and happy, and tears fell down. When she was waiting downstairs, although she didn't show it on her face, she was very worried. She was afraid that Tang Yun wouldn't recognize her, afraid that Tang Yun would think that she was here to cause trouble. But now, her heart was filled with comfort, and she replied happily. She wanted to hug Tang Yun, but her arms stopped. "Mommy." Tang Yun took the initiative to hug Xiao Ming. This was an innate sense of closeness. Blood was thicker than water. Tang Yun couldn't help but be infected. This second time, she called Xiao Ming's mommy's name. It was much smoother than before. Bingtang heaved a sigh of relief, little Qing also heaved a sigh of relief, and Lin Yi and the others were sincerely happy. Although this matter was a big matter to Tang Yun, it didn't matter much to the others. They were only nervous because they cared about Tang Yun. After a long time, the two of them separated. Tang Yun's eyes were already filled with tears. She seemed to feel the hardships Xiao Ming had gone through all these years, and felt her longing for her. Tang Yun felt that it was the right decision to recognize her as her mother. Everything was settled, and all that was left was to go to Tang Yun's house. Once Tang Yun's problem was settled, Mrs. Tang and Mr. Tang's side was easy. Tang Yun didn't even need to do anything, Lin Yi could handle it himself. On the way to Tang Yun's house, when Xiao Ming didn't know what to do, Lin Yi had already made up his mind. Bingtang will definitely go back to the Ice Palace with Xiao Xiao. She can't stay here for long, so Tang Yun's life won't change much. Auntie Xiao Ming, if you don't like the hidden Tang family, you can stay here and live with Tang Yun's parents. That way, you can see Tang Yun often. Lin Yi's suggestion moved Xiao Ming. To be honest, she didn't have anything to miss about the hidden Tang family. Chapter 1650. She didn't have any love for Boss Tang. All her thoughts were on Tang Yun, so staying here wasn't a bad idea. But she was worried about the hidden house Tang and Tang Yun's attitude. Would the hidden house Tang not agree? Would they dare? Bingtang said in disdain. It's not that I'm looking down on them, but killing them is just a matter of a thought. Saint Hall. Lin Yi heard Bingtang's words and couldn't help but click his tongue. A sky-class girl was indeed domineering, but with her Ice Palace's strength, it wasn't too much for her to say that. A sky-class girl is amazing. Lin Yi said. Looks like I have to work hard. Ha ha ha. Humph. Bingtang looked at Lin Yi coldly. Then Tang Yun. Do you think it's good for me to stay here? Xiao Ming cared about Tang Yun's opinion. Of course. That way, I'll have two moms. Tang Yun said happily. Thank you. Xiao Ming was very happy to hear that. Mrs. Tang packed her luggage and waited for Tang Yun and Lin Yi to come back. They said they would leave tomorrow morning, but the two still hadn't come back. It was already dark, and Mrs. Tang was about to call them to ask when Lin Yi and Tang Yun would come back when the doorbell rang. "Why are you back so late? Did you pack your things?" Mrs. Tang opened the door and was talking to Tang Yun when she realized that there were two people standing behind Tang Yun and Lin Yi. She froze. Xiao Qing and Xiao Xiao didn't follow this time, so the people outside were naturally Xiao Ming and Bing Tang. Guests. Mrs. Tang didn't look closely and asked curiously. "Sis." Xiao Ming saw Mrs. Tang and felt all sorts of emotions welling up in her heart. Her tears fell again as she choked. Mrs. Tang heard someone call her sis, and the voice was very familiar as well. She paused and looked carefully. She was stunned. You're Xiao Ming. Sister." Xiao Ming rushed in and couldn't help but hug Mrs. Tang. She sobbed and said, "Sister, it's me, Xiao Ming, it's really you. You're back." Mrs. Tang originally had some resentment towards Xiao Ming, but after Tang Jucheng's explanation, her resentment towards Xiao Ming lessened. Now that she saw Xiao Ming, she couldn't help but recall the past. In an instant, all sorts of emotions welled up in her heart. She hugged Xiao Ming and patted her back. "Xiao Ming, don't cry, don't cry. Did you suffer a lot over there? Tell Big Sis. Big Sis will let your niece-in-law vent your anger for you. Nephew's son-in-law. Isn't that Lin Yi?" Hearing what Mrs. Tang said, Xiao Ming almost smiled through her tears. However, thinking that they hadn't made things clear yet, she didn't say much. Lin Yi and Tang Yun, on the other hand, couldn't help but smile at each other. Tang Jucheng also walked out of the room at this time. Seeing Mrs. Tang and Xiao Ming hugging each other, he was stunned. "What's going on?" "Dad. Auntie is back." Tang Yun wanted to say Mom, but she remembered that her dad didn't know the truth yet. It would be troublesome if she said it now. She might as well call her auntie first. "Holy Church, Xiao Ming. Xiao Ming is back." Tang Jucheng was a little surprised. He looked at the woman beside Mrs. Tang in disbelief. "Xiao Ming is back. It's me, brother-in-law." Xiao Ming raised her head. She was a little emotional. "Brother-in-law, I'm back. It's good that you're back, it's good that you're back. All these years, brother-in-law has been feeling guilty. I shouldn't have brought you to the hidden Tang family. I brought trouble to you for no reason." Tang Jucheng looked at Xiao Ming and felt very sad. Although he wasn't to blame for what happened back then, it was still because of the Tang family. The hidden Tang family was also considered Tang Jucheng's family. Hence, Tang Jucheng always felt that he had a lot of responsibility for this. Tang Jucheng saw Bing Tang at the door. At this moment, Bing Tang was also sizing up her biological parents. These two people were obviously much older than Boss Tang and Xiao Ming. One look and you could tell that they were ordinary people from poor families. However, the decorations of the house were very luxurious. This made Bing Tang feel strange about Tang Yun's family background. Could it be that the hard work in the early years made these two old people age prematurely? "This is my cousin, also my cousin, Bing Tang." Tang Yun introduced Bing Tang to her father. Then, she said, "Dad, Mom. Don't stand at the door. Let's talk in the house." Okay. Look at how excited I am, I'm blocking the door. If the neighbors see me, they'll laugh at me." Mrs. Tang smiled bitterly and shook her head. Then, she said, "Come in and sit. Quick, come into the house. This must be my niece, right? She's called Bing Tang. What a nice name." "Ha." Tang Yin chuckled dryly. "Mom, I'm your niece. But this relationship, Yun, I'm not suitable to be here. I'll go back first. I'll come see you tomorrow morning." Lin Yi felt that he was a bit of a hindrance here. The rest was Tang Yun's family's business. He didn't need to do anything. And, that's fine. Tang Yun thought about it and nodded at Lin Yi. The scene later was indeed not suitable for Lin Yi to be here. After leaving Tang Yun's house, Lin Yi didn't care about the results of the discussion. Lin Yi couldn't participate in it, and so he drove straight back to the Chu villa. Xiao Xiao, Qing, Meng Yao, and Yushu came up to him as soon as he entered the door. Lin Yi, how was it? Over there. Did Mrs. Tang accept them? I came back first. I didn't participate in the specifics. Lin Yi shook his head with a bitter smile. Then, he said, I really can't participate in something like this. After listening to Lin Yi's words, everyone nodded silently. Lin Yi's words weren't wrong, the rest was Tang Yun's family's own business. It was a quiet night. Qing slept in the guest room, while Meng Yao, Yushu, and Xiao Xiao slept in the same room. The three hadn't seen each other in a long time, and they were very close. Xiao Xiao had been living in the villa before her illness started acting up, so they weren't unfamiliar with each other. The three started laughing and joking around on the bed. Wah, Xiao Xiao, your body is so cool. Perfect for me. I'm dying from the heat. Yushu hugged Xiao Xiao tightly. Stupid Shu, are you trying to kill me? Don't squeeze me with your big chest, I'm suffocating. Xiao Xiao pushed her away. Ha! Meng Yao couldn't help but laugh at the two's conversation. Yao Yao, I feel like you're becoming more and more like Shield Bro, especially when you laugh. Yushu said suddenly. Target equals _blank. Chapter 1651. Is that so? Meng Yao paused. Heart, I think so. Xiao Xiao nodded. Lin Yi honey likes to smile like that too, maybe he learned it from me. Meng Yao, naturally, wouldn't admit that Lin Yi's influence had affected her subconsciously. Ugh. Xiao Xiao and Shu were speechless. Lin Yi, on the other hand, continued practicing in his room. He was provoked by that sky-class girl Crystal Candy today, and Lin Yi was filled with fighting spirit and anger. Lin Yi didn't feel like this even when facing those seniors, but Crystal Candy was the only one that Lin Yi wasn't satisfied with. And so, Lin Yi gritted his teeth and continued to condense the energy ball. He was determined to succeed or die trying, and so he decided to make a super energy ball tonight. Lin Yi's heart was filled with fighting spirit, and after 2 failures, he actually succeeded on the last attempt. Looking at the energy ball in his hand, Lin Yi was overjoyed. Under the stimulation of the sky-class girl, Lin Yi actually managed to condense the first energy ball that would allow him to break through from Golden Class late phase peak to Earth Class early phase. Wahahaha, Lin Yi really wanted to laugh heartily. He hadn't made any progress for so many days, but he succeeded after 2 attempts. How could Lin Yi not be happy? It seemed that he needed someone to spur him on, otherwise he wouldn't be able to condense the energy ball this quickly. Of course, Lin Yi had been practicing for so long, and he had already condensed it for so long. Otherwise, no matter how much Crystal Candy pushed him, he wouldn't have succeeded. Lin Yi was smiling, pleased with himself, when the energy ball exploded in a moment of carelessness. Lin Yi's eyes widened in shock. Heart 7 *. What did extreme joy beget sorrow? This was called extreme joy turning to sorrow. He'd spent so much effort to create the first energy ball that could allow him to break through to Earth Class, and yet he'd accidentally caused it to explode because of his happiness. *T. Lin Yi's eyes widened. He looked at his empty hand in disappointment. The energy ball was gone. Ha! Jiao Yazi looked at Lin Yi and couldn't help but burst into laughter. Wahahaha, I'm dying of laughter. Tell me, why are you laughing after you've condensed it? It's over, right? Lin Yi glared at Jiao Yazi and said, Don't laugh, what are you laughing at? Can't I just condense it a little more? Since I succeeded once, there should be a second time. Lin Yi took a deep breath, calmed himself down, and prepared to condense the next energy ball. In the end, just when Lin Yi was full of confidence, the condensation of this energy ball failed. This made Lin Yi a little depressed, but Lin Yi wasn't discouraged. After adjusting his state, he continued to condense the energy ball. This time, Lin Yi was very careful. He didn't dare to have a trace of arrogance or impatience. He was very careful as he increased the energy inside the energy ball bit by bit. After a while, the energy ball finally filled up, and it was about to reach the numerical value that Lin Yi had set for it to level up. Lin Yi took a deep breath and rested for a while. Then, he didn't dare to be negligent and started to carefully increase the energy inside the energy ball again. Finally, Lin Yi successfully condensed another energy ball. This time, Lin Yi didn't dare to laugh. After condensing the energy ball, he didn't delay and directly absorbed it into his body. He started to let the energy ball release energy inside his body. And so, Lin Yi's strength shot up like a rocket. From the peak of the late phase of the golden class, he broke through to the early phase of the mystic class, then the peak of the early phase, the middle phase, the peak of the middle phase, the late phase, and finally, the peak of the late phase. And the energy inside the energy ball hadn't been released yet. Lin Yi was surprised and happy. It seemed like it was a success this time. Lin Yi didn't dare to be negligent and continued to release the energy inside the energy ball. But this time, something strange happened. Although the energy ball was slowly releasing, Lin Yi's strength stopped at the peak of the late phase of the mystic class. Until the energy ball was completely released, Lin Yi was still at the peak of the late phase of the mystic class. But the next moment, Lin Yi's strength started to rapidly dissipate again. From the peak of the late phase of the mystic class, it was like a balloon deflating, falling all the way to a normal person. It didn't work. Lin Yi frowned. The energy he absorbed in his body was clearly enough to break through to the earth class, but why didn't it break through? Lin Yi couldn't figure it out. He had to ask Jiao Yazi again, "Jiao Lao, why didn't I break through this time? Let me ask you, when you were at the peak of the late phase of the mystic class, you cultivated every day and absorbed qi, but why didn't you break through?" Jiao Yazi didn't answer Lin Yi's question. 7 this. Lin Yi paused, but he instantly understood what Jiao Yazi was trying to say. "You mean that this time is the same as before? It's not easy to break through from the peak of the late phase of the mystic class to the earth class. It's not something that can be done with just enough energy, is that right?" "Yes, is there a lot of energy in the jade space? So much that you can break through to the earth class 100 times, but why didn't you break through?" "That's the reason," Jiao Yazi said, "breaking through requires accumulation and luck. It's not something that can be done with just enough energy. You've already taken too many shortcuts compared to others, and you're still not satisfied." "That's true." Lin Yi smiled bitterly. "Then, what if I release all the remaining energy in the ball when I'm at the peak of the late phase of the mystic class?" "I don't know, but what's the difference between that and you using compressed energy to break through?" Jiao Yazi said, "But you can try again and see if there's any hope." "I'll try." Lin Yi was helpless. He was full of confidence before, thinking that as long as he could condense the energy ball, he could break through to the earth class. But now, it seemed like he was too naive. How could it be that easy to break through? Before his strength dropped, breaking through was already hard enough. Now that his strength dropped again, breaking through was even harder, and he was so naive to think that as long as he absorbed enough energy, he would be able to break through. Lin Yi rested for a while and raised his strength to the peak of the late phase of the golden class. He condensed another energy ball, and this time, it was successful. Chapter 1652. This time, after Lin Yi broke through to the peak of the late phase of mystic class, he released all the remaining energy in the energy ball, boom. The result wasn't out of Lin Yi's expectations. Not only did it not level up, but it also damaged most of his meridians. It seems like I really can't do it. Lin Yi sighed, could it be that? I have to wait until next spring. But time waits for no man, I can't wait that long. I can't do anything about this. Jiao Yazi said, but you can ask Bingtang, maybe she has a way. After all, she's a sky class master. Jiao Lao, tell me the truth, what's your real strength? Lin Yi suddenly thought of a question. This was a question he wanted to ask for a long time. Me? I'm not sure. Jiao Yazi shook his head and said regretfully, in this jade space, there's only a virtual body of mine, not my real body. All my memories haven't been unlocked. Only when you practice the second stage of the art of dragon mastery will some of my memories be unlocked. So, I can't help you too much now, my memories are incomplete. I understand. Lin Yi nodded, then I'll go ask Bingtang tomorrow. This time, I might have to lower my head first. Lin Yi didn't want to lower his head to Bingtang, but he had no choice. Among the people that Lin Yi knew, only Bingtang had the highest level. If he could still contact his master, he could ask him, but ever since his master left that time, there was no news of him. Old Lin's knowledge was limited. After a night's rest, Lin Yi drove to Tang Yun's neighborhood early in the morning. He didn't know how Tang Yun's family, Bingtang, and Little Ming's conversation went. Although Lin Yi didn't think it was a big problem, he was still worried along the way. However, when Lin Yi saw Tang Yun's smiling face when she opened the door, Lin Yi's nervous heart immediately relaxed. It seemed like Tang Yun's family's problem had been solved. What do you think? Is everything done? Lin Yi asked in a low voice. Yeah. It's all taken care of, everyone's satisfied. Tang Yun nodded. That's good. Lin Yi breathed a sigh of relief. Yun, is that Lin Yi? Let him come in and pay his respects to his second mother-in-law. Mrs. Tang's voice rang out, followed by the sound of footsteps. Holy Church, sis, don't spout nonsense. What second mother-in-law? That sounds so bad. Didn't we agree that in front of outsiders, I'm still Yun's auntie? The one who spoke was Xiao Ming. She quickly walked out with Mrs. Tang, feeling a little embarrassed. Isn't that in front of outsiders? It's not in front of outsiders, it's in front of our family. This is our son-in-law, Xiao Yi. How is he an outsider? Mrs. Tang said, Xiao Ming, you have to get used to it. Didn't we agree yesterday that you'll be living here from now on? Hee, that's mother-in-law. But Yun and I aren't married yet, so I'll call you Aunt Xiao Ming. As for Mrs. Tang, it's better to call her Aunt Wang or Aunt Tang. Lin Yi said. Tang Yun's mother was called Wang Yujia, and Xiao Ming's name was Wang Yuming. Lin Yi could only call them that. Okay, we'll call them that, Xiao Ming nodded. Bingtang, what are you doing? You stupid child, come and meet your brother-in-law. After all, they were mother and daughter. In just one night, Mrs. Tang and Bingtang became familiar. Mrs. Tang didn't care whether Bingtang was a heaven-class master or the palace master of Ice Palace. She was her own flesh and blood. She didn't hold back when she spoke to her. Of course, although Bingtang was her own flesh and blood, Tang Yun was still more important in Mrs. Tang's heart. After all, she raised Tang Yun since she was young. But she also liked Bingtang. Who wouldn't be happy to have two daughters at once? Last night, they talked until very late and confirmed their relationship. Tang Yun and Bingtang both called Wang Yujia mommy, while Tang Yun called Xiao Ming mommy at home. Outside, she called Xiao Ming auntie. This was also because she didn't want the neighbors to gossip about this matter if they knew the truth. As for Bingtang, she naturally called Xiao Ming auntie. Actually, this family of 4 was basically equivalent to 2 mothers and 2 children. She's a heaven-class girl, of course she's arrogant. My brother-in-law is too weak and she looks down on him, Lin Yi said purposely. Bing Tang looked at Lin Yi coldly, furious. She didn't like this spoiled bastard. If it weren't for Tang Yun and Xiao Xiao, how could a high and mighty heaven class have anything to do with Lin Yi? And this guy was annoying, too. He didn't respect her at all and gave her a nickname, Heaven Class Girl. What kind of ridiculous nickname was that? It was horrible. Who dared to call her a Heaven Class Girl in front of the Master of Ice Palace? Bing Tang was furious, but she didn't expect Mrs. Tang to start nagging before she could say anything. Bing Tang, she asked you to come over. You really have a tough life, kid. You were dumped by that damned hidden house Tang before, and now you're a step too late. Otherwise, Yi would have been your boyfriend, and Een wouldn't have had a chance. Mrs. Tang nagged again. That's right. Bing Tang almost fell to the ground after hearing Mrs. Tang's words. Lin Yi? What was so good about this guy? Was it because he was too late? Even if she came earlier, she couldn't have found him, could she? Brother-in-law. I'm waiting for the day you surpass heaven class and become a mystic first-level refiner. Bing Tang gritted her teeth as she spoke to Lin Yi. Oh, soon, but I'm afraid that Tang Yun won't accept you, Lin Yi said faintly. Won't accept what? What are you guys talking about? Tang Yun didn't understand what Lin Yi and Bing Tang were talking about. Nothing, Bing Tang said with a dark face. At noon, Lin Yi booked a table at Pengzhan Business Hotel and invited Tang Yun's family for lunch. Meng Yao, Yushu, and Qing naturally came as well. Tang Yun's family's business was settled, and everyone had no more pressure. Everyone was chatting and laughing happily. Only Rock Candy remained cold and serious. She would only force a smile when Mrs. Tang called out to her, enjoying the warmth of familial love. Mrs. Tang, on the other hand, was a little emotional as she looked at Tang Yun, then back at Rock Candy. Man, suddenly finding out that Yun isn't my biological daughter. I really can't talk about her like I used to in the future. Tang Yun sighed. Chapter 1653. Mom, what are you talking about? Tang Yun said, I'm still your daughter, I was, and I still am. You can say whatever you want, I'm listening, yeah, I'm the one who needs to be careful, don't let Tang Yun hate me. Xiao Ming smiled. 7 asterisk, I still have to go back to the Ice Palace. I'll leave Mom and Auntie here to you. Tang Yun, take care of them for me. Bing Tang sighed. She enjoyed the warmth of a family, but it was far away from her. She would still be the high and mighty palace master once she returned to the Ice Palace. After dinner, Lin Yi, Tang Yun, Xiao Xiao, Qing, Xiao Ming, Bing Tang, and Tang Yun's parents prepared to go to the hidden house Tang. Xiao Ming wanted to tell old Tang that she would be staying in Songshan, but she didn't dare say it herself. She could only let Bing Tang do it. The Miss and Shu wanted to go as well, but this was the hidden house Tang's birthday banquet, and they didn't have any relationship with the Tang family. There was no reason for them to go, and it wouldn't be interesting anyway, so Meng Yao and Yushu stayed at home. Lin Yi, come with me. Bing Tang called Lin Yi to Tang Yun's room before they left. Holy Hall, oh. Lin Yi paused, but seeing Tang Yun's eye signal, he followed Bing Tang into Tang Yun's room. You haven't recovered your strength yet, right? Bing Tang glanced at Lin Yi and asked faintly. Not yet, do you have a way? Lin Yi was surprised that Bing Tang would bring this up, but thinking about it, Tang Yun must have said something to her last night. As expected, Bing Tang continued, if it wasn't for Tang Yun speaking up for you, I wouldn't have bothered thinking about you. Ha! Lin Yi laughed at himself. Yeah, he was a mystic, and he wasn't even a mystic anymore. If it weren't for this nepotism, Bing Tang wouldn't have spent so much effort on him. But Lin Yi was a proud and stubborn person. After laughing, he said, "Count it as the second favor I owe you. If I have the chance, I'll pay it back." "No need. I've thought about it, but I still can't help you." Rock Candy said, "If it's Xiao Xiao, I can use my own true qi to forcibly transfer it into her body to help her break through. I'd rather lose some of my strength. As long as Xiao Xiao, Yun Yun, and Mom are happy, I'll help you. However, our physiques and the mental cultivation methods we cultivate are far from each other. I heard from Xiao Xiao that you cultivate a mental cultivation method of extreme yang attribute. If I transfer my true qi to you, you will basically go berserk. You won't be able to refine my qi for your own." Lin Yi agreed with Bing Tang's words. If it was just a small amount of different qi, Lin Yi could forcefully refine it, but if it was too much different qi, Lin Yi wouldn't be able to refine it. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was starting to get a little envious of Naipeo. This guy's practitioner's arts were quite powerful, being able to refine different types of qi from different people. He didn't reject anyone, however much he wanted. But Lin Yi was the opposite. Lin Yi could turn the energy in his body into other people's qi, no matter how much he wanted. It was the complete opposite of Naipeo. Saint Hall, comparatively speaking, they each had their own strengths. But at this stage, Naipeo's arts were more useful for Lin Yi's current situation. Then, other than waiting for spring next year, I'll make the antidote. Is there no other way? Lin Yi asked, a little regretful. I haven't thought of one yet, but from what I've seen, you should have a way to recover your strength quickly, right? Bing Tang asked. Naipeo sucked all of your strength dry, and you recovered in one night. You even broke through. It's impossible without some secret technique. That's true. Lin Yi didn't hide it. This had happened in the Ice Palace's turf, and there was no way the sect master wouldn't know about it. She just didn't know the specifics. As a result, Lin Yi said honestly, I've tried to recover many times, but once I reach Mystic, my strength drops like water, so I can only recover to Golden Class late phase peak for now. You want to use this method to break through to Earth Class? Bing Tang was very smart. She understood Lin Yi's intentions right away. After all, Lin Yi knew that recovering to Mystic would decrease his strength, and yet he did it so many times. It was obvious that he wanted to use this method to break through to Earth Class, otherwise, he'd just give up if it didn't work once or twice. Why would he keep on doing it? Yes. Lin Yi nodded. Then what's the most you can recover to? Bing Tang said after a sigh. Mystic late phase peak. Lin Yi said, I can go even more, but I'm limited by my strength before, and I haven't broken through to Earth Class yet. I haven't broken through after recovering, and it's very hard to find the right opportunity to do so. Oh. You can get to Mystic late phase peak in one go? Bing Tang was a bit surprised. She didn't expect Lin Yi to be this strong. It's alright, but it's useless. I can't break through, and I'll still drop. Lin Yi said. If that's the case, then I do have a way for you to break through to Earth Class. But there will be some drawbacks. Bing Tang frowned and said after some hesitation. Let's hear it. Lin Yi asked. As long as there was hope, it was fine. That qi gathering pill, is it still on you? Bing Tang asked. I remember that you said you had a qi gathering pill that you wanted to trade for the fruit. Yes, it's still there. Lin Yi nodded. He could guess what Bing Tang was trying to say. You're saying that you want me to use the qi gathering pill? Aren't qi gathering pills supposed to be used when breaking through to Sky Class when you're at peak late phase? You can use it for Mystic late phase peak to break through to Earth Class, but it's a bit of a waste. Bing Tang said, it can be used as an experience pill, and it can also be used as a miracle pill for breaking through. But after you use it once, the natural qi in the air will lose its effect on you. If you want to train again, you'll have to continue using the qi gathering pill to increase your strength. The qi in it is too pure, even the spirit vein in the ice palace can't compare to it. I see. Lin Yi breathed a sigh of relief after listening to Bingtang's words. The natural qi in the air was useless to Lin Yi anymore. In terms of purity, what could be more pure than the energy in the jade space? Chapter 1654. This was the purest form of energy, it could be converted into whatever type of qi it wanted. And the qi-gathering pill, at most, would be as pure as the energy in the jade space, or even less. So, Lin Yi wasn't afraid of the side effects of using the pill, preventing him from continuing his training. Holy Church, however, to waste this qi-amassing pill just like that was really a pity. Using it when breaking through to Earth class, probably only Lin Yi would do this. But there was no other way, and Lin Yi was already thankful that he had this method. You want to use it? Bingtang saw Lin Yi's expression and guessed what he was thinking. Yeah, Lin Yi didn't deny it. Right now, this is the only way, why not? Have you thought about the consequences? You might be stuck at Earth class for the rest of your life, if you can't become a refiner and continue making qi-gathering pills, Bingtang reminded. That's impossible, Lin Yi said. You. Bingtang was pissed off by Lin Yi's words. She was being kind, but if Lin Yi was stuck at Earth class for the rest of his life, what would happen to Feng Xiaoxiao? Tang Yun was a normal person, so it didn't matter, but Xiaoxiao was someone who wanted to pursue the heavenly Tao. She couldn't be with an Earth class practitioner, so for Xiaoxiao's sake, Bingtang tried to convince Lin Yi to give up, but Lin Yi didn't seem to care about the side effects of the qi-gathering pill at all. Thanks, I'm going to use the qi-gathering pill. Before we leave, I want to break through to Earth class, Lin Yi said to Bingtang. Think about it carefully, don't hurt yourself and others. Waiting for a year might not be a big deal, Bingtang said. Ha, Sky class girl, are you afraid that I won't be able to marry you if I stay at Earth class? Lin Yi turned around and teased. Fuck off, Bingtang said faintly. Bing Charcoal indifferently said this one word. His heart was burning with rage, and he didn't want to care about this guy anymore. If he wanted to eat, then eat. And so, Lin Yi found a quiet room in Tang Yun's house and began his breakthrough journey. Based on Lin Yi's previous experience, Lin Yi prepared the qi-gathering pill and placed it beside him. Then, he entered the space in the jade pendant and began to condense the energy ball. Due to his previous experience, the speed and quality of Lin Yi's energy ball condensation this time had greatly improved. Now that he had succeeded on his first try, he didn't need to do it a second time. It was a walk in the park. Lin Yi wasn't worried about this. If he couldn't condense it the first time, he could condense it the second time. At most, it would just waste some time. The most important thing was that the moment he reached Mystic Late Phase Peak, Lin Yi needed to use the qi-gathering pill. He couldn't use it too early or too late. He needed to grasp the timing. Bingtang had said that this pill could be used as an experience pill, and it could also be used as a miracle pill for breakthroughs. There were two different effects, and Lin Yi used it as a miracle pill for breakthroughs. What if he didn't reach Mystic Late Phase Peak? If he used it directly, it'd be a disaster if the pill only served as an experience pill and didn't help him break through. That'd be terrible. Holy Church, and if he took it too late and dropped a level again, it would still be equivalent to an experience pill. So he couldn't miss this opportunity. After taking a deep breath, Lin Yi quickly absorbed the energy ball into his body and used the energy ball's energy to break through. His strength rose all the way from Golden Late Phase Peak to Mystic Late Phase Peak. In an instant, Lin Yi exited the jade space, but his body was still using the art of dragon mastery to control the energy ball to slowly release the remaining energy. This way, it could ensure that Lin Yi wouldn't drop a level immediately, and it could also ensure that the remaining energy wouldn't blow up Lin Yi's meridians. Lin Yi grabbed the qi-gathering pill and swallowed it. In an instant, a warm current flowed from Lin Yi's abdomen to the rest of his body, and it was as if his meridians were on fire. Lin Yi didn't try to resist it, but let it develop naturally. He gritted his teeth and waited for the follow-up to develop. After all, Lin Yi didn't know what would happen after using the qi-gathering pill. This time, he was just trying it out. This burning feeling was getting stronger and stronger, and Lin Yi felt like he was on fire. But even so, Lin Yi gritted his teeth and persevered. This feeling was a little familiar. It was a little like when he broke through for the first time, but it was a little different. It also had the burning feeling of using compressed qi to force a breakthrough. Although it wasn't as domineering, Lin Yi could feel that his clothes were about to be burnt. But no matter what, this was a good thing. Although Lin Yi felt uncomfortable, he was very happy. The more painful it was, the more similar feeling he had when he broke through, the more stable Lin Yi's heart felt. If he didn't feel anything, then Lin Yi would be depressed. Because the qi-gathering pill was his last chance. The energy in the energy ball in his body was finally released, but to Lin Yi's relief, his strength didn't start to dissipate. Instead, in an instant, the aura in the air gathered and hovered above Lin Yi's head, forming an extremely weak vortex. Rock Candy was right. The aura in the natural world was really scarce, especially in the city. However, this aura was only automatically gathered during a breakthrough. This time, Lin Yi's breakthrough relied on the qi-gathering pill, not the aura. Therefore, the amount of the aura was not important to Lin Yi. To put it bluntly, the aura in the world resonated with the qi in Lin Yi's body. It circulated around Lin Yi's body rapidly, faster and faster, and Lin Yi felt that his body temperature was getting higher and higher. Lin Yi could even smell something burning. It was his clothes. The clothes on Lin Yi's body had turned into pieces and fell to the ground. However, Lin Yi didn't care about this anymore. As long as he could break through, it wouldn't be a problem even if he burned the house down. At most, he would let Fatty Lai find someone to decorate it. In the previous few breakthroughs, Lin Yi did it in the Jade space, and the burnt clothes were also virtual clothes in the Jade space, so it didn't affect the outside world. But this time, Lin Yi broke through outside the Jade space, and the movement was a little bigger. Although ordinary people couldn't feel heaven and earth's spiritual energy, Rock Candy could feel it. Chapter 1655. She looked at Lin Yi's room and couldn't help but frown. It seemed like Lin Yi was about to break through. He had taken the qi-gathering pill after all. She didn't know where Lin Yi got his confidence from, but based on her observation of Lin Yi, this guy always had a trump card up his sleeve when he did things, and he had a lot of them. Could it be that this time, Lin Yi had a trump card as well? Thinking of this, she suddenly had a faint worry. Did this mean that Lin Yi had the possibility to surpass Sky Class and step into Heaven's path? And, could he really become a mystic first-level refiner? If Lin Yi really did it, wouldn't she have to fulfill her promise and become his little wife? She couldn't help but blush, and then her face darkened. Impossible, right? This guy couldn't be that strong, right? Humph, she was worrying too much. He was just a mystic master, and he had just stepped into Earth class after taking the qi-gathering pill. How could a practitioner like this compare to Heaven's path? And, Lin Yi wasn't even a golden first-level refiner, how could he become a mystic first-level refiner? It was completely impossible. She comforted herself in her heart. Holy Hall, however, although normal people couldn't feel the qi of heaven and earth, they could smell the burnt smell. The most nervous people were Tang Yun and Feng Xiaoxiao. Tang Yun looked at the closed door and asked nervously, "Bing Tang sis, will Lin Yi be okay?" He shouldn't be. Bing Tang didn't know. She had never taken the qi-gathering pill before, and no one in the Ice Palace had either. She didn't know what would happen after taking it, so she could only give a vague answer, just as he was speaking, he heard a loud boom coming from behind the closed door. It was earth-shattering and deafening, and even the ground trembled. The loud noise startled Tang Yin's family. What happened? Did something happen to Lin Yi, hubby? Xiao Xiao was panicking. She'd gone from a normal person to golden class early phase before, and she'd never made such a big commotion. So, this explosion from Lin Yi made her jump. Lin Yi, honey, can't explode, right? Yeah, Sister Bing Tang, what happened to Lin Yi? Let's go check it out. Tang Yun was getting anxious. Mrs. Tang and Xiao Ming were also very anxious. After all, Lin Yi was their son-in-law. They didn't know what happened to Lin Yi's loud noise, so they looked at Rock Candy helplessly. Shall we go and take a look? Rock Candy was also a little hesitant. He can't be disturbed when he is breaking through. Why don't I go take a look first? You guys wait here. After all, I am also a cultivator, and a peak late-stage heaven rank at that. I can hide my aura and not disturb Lin Yi's breakthrough. And, that's good. Rock Candy sis, hurry up and take a look. Tang Yun said anxiously. Rock Candy didn't have a choice, she was the strongest here, so she could only go check it out. This was the first time she'd heard of a huge explosion during cultivation, and she didn't have much experience. So, she carefully went to Lin Yi's room, hid her aura, and tiptoed in. She raised her head and was about to check what was going on when she suddenly realized that Lin Yi was sitting on the ground without a stitch on his body. This was the first time she saw a mature man without clothes, and she froze. She didn't know what to do. What was Lin Yi doing, not wearing clothes while cultivating? Ah! Rock Candy screamed and ran out of the room with a red face. She was really shocked, but, one thing was for sure, Lin Yi was fine. Other than being naked, he was completely fine. What's wrong, Rock Candy sis? What happened to Lin Yi? Tang Yun saw Rock Candy's expression and thought that she had seen something horrifying, so she quickly asked. Yeah, senior sis, what happened to Lin Yi's honey? Xiao Xiao was shocked as well. No. It's okay. He's fine. Bing Tang blushed and stuttered. She didn't know what to say. At this moment, her heart was still beating wildly. The image of Lin Yi without clothes flashed in her mind. Bing Tang was furious. This bastard, he didn't wear clothes when he practiced. What kind of habit was this? Nothing. Then you. Tang Yun looked at Rock Candy suspiciously, but because she was worried about Lin Yi, she walked quickly to the room, and Xiao Xiao followed behind her into Lin Yi's room. Ah! Tang Yun was shocked when she saw the scene in the room. Her face was red, but she didn't react as much as Rock Candy. After all, she and Lin Yi were boyfriend and girlfriend, and the two weren't that close. This situation made Tang Yun shy, but she didn't panic. Xiao Xiao, on the other hand, didn't gasp. She was shocked as well, but she said something that shocked Tang Yun even more. Wow, Lin Yi honey is so rich. We'll be happy from now on. Tang Yun was fine at first, but Xiao Xiao's words made her face as red as the sunset. She coughed awkwardly. What are you talking about, Xiao Xiao? Let's go out. Since Lin Yi is fine, let's not disturb his cultivation. Oh. Okay. But I still want to see more. Xiao Xiao mumbled to herself, I can only feast my eyes now. I can't go up until I break through to sky class. Tang Yun staggered and almost fell on the ground. She was practically running away, dragging Xiao Xiao out of the room. She looked at the blushing Rock Candy and gave her an apologetic look. I'm sorry, Rock Candy sis, I didn't know it would be like this. It's nothing. I didn't see anything. Naturally, Rock Candy wouldn't admit what she saw. This Lin Yi was a jinx, nothing good would come out of meeting him. She'd really stained her eyes. Liar, you must have seen it. Why else would you blush? Compared to Tang Yun, Xiao Xiao was more familiar with rock candy. She didn't hesitate to expose rock candy's lie. I didn't see it clearly either. Rock candy was so angry she wanted to kick Xiao Xiao. He. Xiao Xiao lowered her voice, you must have seen it clearly. Never mind, as a small wife, I won't hold you responsible anymore. Otherwise, you would have been seen for nothing. Rock candy couldn't help but get pissed. Being seen for nothing. I didn't even say anything about holding him responsible, and you're not holding me responsible anymore. Chapter 1656. Lin Yi knew what was going on outside, but Lin Yi had just broken through, and the qi in his body hadn't been adjusted yet. He couldn't move or speak, and so he could only let Tang Yun, and Xiao Xiao come in and out, unable to explain himself. Lin Yi could only smile bitterly at the girl's conversation outside the door. After about 10 minutes, Lin Yi finally adjusted the qi in his body, and his strength stabilized as well. Lin Yi was now an Earth-class early-phase master. Phew! This feels great. Lin Yi stood up, feeling that his hearing, sight, and senses were all much clearer. The feeling of an Earth class was completely different from when he was at Mystic class, as if he had taken a leap in quality. This feeling made Lin Yi feel great. He didn't know why Boss Yu was afraid of Lin Yi, who was at the peak of Mystic mid-phase. It was a bit unbelievable. Even if this guy was afraid of death, he shouldn't be afraid to this extent, right? Lin Yi now felt that facing someone below Earth class was like playing a game. It was a very easy thing to do. Even if there were 3 or 4 Mystic class masters surrounding him, Lin Yi felt that he could handle it easily. Of course, this might have something to do with the practitioner's arts. Lin Yi's art of dragon mastery was stronger, and Boss Yu's wasn't that strong. 7 Looking at the clothes on the ground, Lin Yi smiled bitterly. He didn't train in the Jade space this time, so his clothes were ruined. Luckily, Lin Yi was preparing to go to the hidden house Tang, and he had some clothes in his luggage. Lin Yi took out his phone and called Tang Yun. Lin Yi? Tang Yun saw that Lin Yi was calling and was confused. You? Are you okay? I'm fine. Take out a set of clothes from your luggage and send it to me. My clothes are ruined. Lin Yi said with a bitter smile, if you are embarrassed, you can ask Xiao Xiao to send it in. Okay. Tang Yun felt a little embarrassed thinking about the situation just now. Tang Yun sis, is that Lin Yi's husband? What's wrong with him? Xiao Xiao asked after Tang Yun hung up. Yes, it's him. He's fine. He wants some clothes to be sent to him. His clothes seem to be ruined, Tang Yun said. Okay, leave it to me, I'll go get it for him. Xiao Xiao volunteered before Tang Yun could say anything. She wanted to go get the clothes for Lin Yi. Holy Church, Okay. Tang Yun was speechless. Compared to Xiao Xiao, she was still a little too cowardly. That was true. She heard that a lot of couples her age already went to the hotel to get a room. Tang Yun also heard a few guys and girls talking about getting a room at night after the exams, so this kind of thing was very common among couples nowadays. But Tang Yun was a more conservative person. She decided to follow Lin Yi, and she acknowledged Lin Yi in her heart. She just wasn't ready yet. Luckily, Lin Yi didn't force her, and that made her happy. She found a set of Lin Yi's clothes and excitedly sent it to Lin Yi's room. Lin Yi honey, for you. Okay. Thanks, just wait for me outside. Lin Yi took the clothes and felt a little awkward when he saw Xiao Xiao's eyes staring at him. Hee, you've already seen me. If I don't look at you, wouldn't I be losing out? Xiao Xiao smiled, plus, I'm your small wife. Are you afraid of looking? I'm here, you can change. Ugh. Okay. Lin Yi shook his head helplessly as he looked at the tough Xiao Xiao. He was slowly getting used to this girl who dared to love and hate. Just like the first time he got close to her at the auction in Yanjing, when she asked if he wanted to touch her breasts. That was how he got to know her personality. And so, Lin Yi didn't hold back this time and changed right in front of Xiao Xiao. Wow, Lin Yi honey is so handsome. Hug me. Xiao Xiao said as she jumped onto Lin Yi. Lin Yi could only pick her up and spin around on the ground. He didn't hide his strength after breaking through, and Xiao Xiao was a practitioner now. When Lin Yi wasn't hiding his strength, she could feel it. She was surprised. Lin Yi honey, you've broken through to Earth class. That's fast. Huh, aren't you faster? According to that Sky class girl of yours, you'll break through to Sky class soon. I need to work hard as well, Lin Yi said. Hee, it won't be that fast. It'll take at least 2 years. I'll have to wait for you to become a refiner first. Xiao Xiao smiled, I'll wait for you. Okay, I'll fulfill my promise and become a refiner. Lin Yi said, trust me, that day won't be too long. Okay, I know. I'll wait for you. Xiao Xiao sighed and jumped off Lin Yi. Actually, becoming an inheritor isn't necessarily a bad thing. You have to know that inheritors are the highest existences in every ancient sect. Many people want to become inheritors, but they can't. Becoming an inheritor means that you have to do that thing, but once that thing is done, there's a chance that you'll break through to Sky class and step into Sky class. That's a whole new realm, a realm that all Sky class masters dream of reaching. Only when you reach that realm can you learn more profound martial arts and techniques, and your lifespan and strength will increase as well. Pursuing greater strength was the dream and goal of every cultivator. Lin Yi wasn't surprised that Xiao Xiao would change her mindset like this. She wasn't a practitioner before, so naturally she'd find it hard to choose between inheriting and doing something dangerous. But once Xiao Xiao stepped onto the path of practicing and looked at things from a practitioner's point of view, her perspective and thoughts would be completely different. Wasn't Lin Yi always chasing after greater strength? In this period of time, he'd done many dangerous things in order to level up. Things like compressing qi, and now using qi-gathering pills. Which one of them wasn't filled with unknown dangers? But Lin Yi still gave it a try. This was the pursuit of higher realms as a practitioner. Xiao Xiao was no exception. She wanted to become an inheritor, she wanted to step into Sky class and pursue Sky class. There was nothing wrong with that, and Lin Yi wouldn't stop her. In fact, he'd support her. After saying all that, Xiao Xiao kept worrying about Lin Yi's reaction. After all, she was different from Lin Yi. She was an inheritor, and her training conditions were exceptional. Chapter 1657. But Lin Yi didn't have such good conditions. Lin Yi had to rely on himself to level up bit by bit, and so Xiao Xiao was afraid that Lin Yi wouldn't be happy that she was so much stronger than him. She was worried that Lin Yi wouldn't be happy that she was so much stronger than him. If Lin Yi didn't want her to be the inheritor, then Xiao Xiao would listen to Lin Yi without hesitation and give up on the inheritance, waiting for Lin Yi to make the ice heart pill for Bingtang and make her the inheritor. Holy Hall, I didn't think you'd think it through so quickly. Lin Yi didn't think much of it. Xiao Xiao was overthinking things. On one hand, Lin Yi wanted his woman to be strong, and on the other, Lin Yi had confidence in himself. It was just Sky class, right? He had the jade as a cheat, and he had the art of dragon mastery, an ancient practitioner's art. How could he lose to a mere ice palace inheritance? So Lin Yi wasn't worried about being left behind by Xiao Xiao. Quite the contrary, he was very supportive. Pursuing higher realms of martial arts is the ultimate goal of every practitioner. You're on the path of practicing now, it's normal for you to have this thought. But, I won't let you be the inheritor alone. I'll make an ice heart jade bone pill for crystal candy and let her accompany you as you inherit. That way, you'll be in less danger. If anything happens, let her be the scapegoat. Pfft. Xiao Xiao couldn't help but laugh. Lin Yi honey, you're so naughty. Senior sister's going to be pissed when she hears that, although Xiao Xiao said that, she was actually very happy inside. Lin Yi cared about her, and not only did he respect her choice, but he also protected her training as much as he could. Holy Hall, she won't be pissed to death, she'll be happy, Lin Yi said faintly, having the ice heart pill is her dream. Why would she be angry? That's true, but she's really nice to me. Even if you didn't say anything, she wouldn't let me be in danger. Xiao Xiao said. Lin Yi nodded. He could see that Bingtang was very protective of Xiao Xiao. The two of them walked out of the room together. Tang Yun quickly walked up and asked about Lin Yi's well-being, while the Heaven Stage girl turned her face away and didn't look at Lin Yi. A faint blush appeared on her face. This chi-gathering pill actually blew up his clothes when he broke through. How scary. Lin Yi seemed to be talking to himself, but in fact, he was explaining the previous embarrassment to Rock Candy. This sudden incident was not the intention of Lin Yi, but an accident. This chi convergence pill actually blew up my clothes when I broke through. That's really scary. Holy Hall. Lin Yi seemed to be talking to himself, but in fact, he was explaining the awkwardness to Rock Candy. This sudden incident was not the intention of Lin Yi, but an accident. Rock Candy humphed softly, but after hearing Lin Yi's explanation, her face relaxed quite a bit. The news of Lin Yi being poisoned by the 5-step dissipation spread like the wind through the noble houses and hidden houses. With the help of the hidden house Zhao, almost everyone knew about it. But, although everyone knew about it, no one dared to cause trouble for Lin Yi. When the Xiao family heard about Lin Yi being poisoned, they immediately told the hidden house Pai, but they only said faintly that they understood, and then there was no more news. The hidden house Pai wasn't stupid. If the Xiao family knew about it, how could they not know about it? And it was the hidden house Xiao who'd spread the news on purpose, too. They'd heard about it before they could, and after a family meeting, they'd come to the conclusion that Lin Yi couldn't be judged by common sense. They'd even said that he'd lost his strength last time, and now Uncle Pai was killed. The second time, they were even more unlucky. Pai Yangyang and Mr. Pai were even more unlucky, they were killed by Air Gooden with one punch. So, even if Lin Yi had lost his strength, there was still Air Gooden, whose condition was unknown. Messing with him at this time was not a smart choice. So, under Pai Zhishan's suggestion, House Pai decided to wait and see. Of course, Pai Zhishan didn't know that this Lin Yi was the Ling Yi he met in the test. And the only families that had enmity with Lin Yi were the hidden house Zhao, the common house Yu, and the Xiao family. As for the others, the head of the Golden Bell sect and their prized disciple were either dead or crippled. Naturally, they wouldn't cause trouble for Lin Yi. If the hidden house Pai didn't do anything, how would the Xiao family have the guts to cause trouble for Lin Yi? As for the common house Yu, although they hated Lin Yi to the core, they had to prepare for the noble house meeting, so they didn't have the time to deal with Lin Yi. The problem was that the common house Yu had no one left, and the only practitioners who could walk were Yu Shuixing and Yu Feng. House Yu was the host of the noble house meeting, and they had too much work to do. Why would they go to Songshan to cause trouble for Lin Yi? Plus, Yu Feng had just crippled Qin Yutian. This was the time to avoid suspicion, so they couldn't go to Songshan. And so, the matter of Lin Yi losing his strength was left unsettled. Pinliang and Naipeo weren't practitioners, and the snake bites and 5-step disperser didn't cause any problems. They were fine after getting disinfected at the hospital. Chen Shi, on the other hand, was also affected by the poison, but she wasn't a true practitioner, so Boss Zhu didn't have to worry about her. Chen Shi was cultivated by the hidden Zhao family as a cultivation cauldron. The so-called cultivation cauldron was a tool for other people to cultivate and absorb Jin Qi. The hidden Zhao family heard that a certain powerful person cultivated an evil heart sutra and needed a lot of cultivation cauldrons. Chen Qi's physique just happened to be the most powerful type of cultivation cauldron, a fire-type cultivation cauldron. Therefore, in order to please this powerful person, the hidden Zhao family had already started planning this plan a long time ago. They wanted Chen Qi to be a chess piece of the hidden Zhao family, cultivated by Big Zhu. Actually, every hidden family was scheming. They were all thinking of ways to get in touch with the ancient sects and families in order to seek help. While helping them stabilize their position, it would be best if they could raise their position and obtain some benefits. This was something that these people dreamed of. As a cauldron, Chen Qi naturally didn't have to worry about losing her strength, because her body wasn't a practitioner's qi. She was trying to purify her fire element cauldron body. Otherwise, Lin Yi would have known that Chen Qi was a practitioner the moment he laid eyes on her, and there was no way he wouldn't be able to find out. And so, the matter passed, disappointing the hidden house Zhao, especially Boss Zhu. He felt like he had wasted his effort in poisoning Lin Yi, and he still couldn't do anything to Lin Yi. Target =_ blank. Chapter 1658. In the floating cloud bar, Zhao Qibing and the others were sitting in a row, having a short meeting. Master Bing, I can't accept this. I went to Lin Yi's villa to wait for him yesterday, and Lin Yi had a guest. Lin Yi didn't hide his strength when he came out to greet them, and from what I can see, Lin Yi is only golden class late phase peak. Boss Zhu said. He can recover his strength, but he can only go back to golden class late phase peak. Any more and he'll lose his strength again, turning into a normal person. Are you sure? Qibing frowned, his heart skipped a beat. Did Lin Yi discover you and purposely release his strength for you to see? He's not trying to trick us, is he? Zhao Qibing's legs had been broken by Lin Yi a couple of times, and he was a little afraid of Lin Yi. He was starting to get paranoid. It can't be, right? My camouflage ability is very strong. In my early years, I obtained a secret book on Qi Men Xian Jia that can hide my Jin Qi. Even a sky-ranked master wouldn't be able to detect me. Boss Zhu said, the secret book to turn Chen Qi into a cultivation furnace came from this book. I see. So you're saying. We'll do it on our own. Zhao Qibing didn't want to, but he didn't dare do it. Elder Bai had already spoken, and if he did something behind his back and Elder Bai found out, wouldn't he be disappointed in him? Master Bing, I can ambush Lin Yi on the way, and you can say that you didn't know about this, and that I did it on my own to avenge my brother. Boss Zhu said after some thought. Bullshit. Do you think my master's an idiot? Zhao Qibing waved his hand, denying Boss Zhu's idea. You're my man now, and everyone knows that. Do you think Zhao Qikuan won't make a big deal out of this? I'm being presumptuous. Boss Zhu thought about it and agreed. He had been loyal to the Zhao family for so many years. How could he suddenly act on his own? Didn't that mean they were under Zhao Qibing's orders? Thinking of this, Boss Zhu broke out in a cold sweat. He thought that Master Bing was very thoughtful. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. Forget it. This is really depressing. I've prepared for so long, but in the end, it's all for naught. Qibing said unhappily, this hidden house pie is too cowardly, they don't even dare to make a move. Boss Zhu could only smile bitterly. Hidden House Zhao didn't make a move, and Hidden House Pai wasn't reckless either. Plus, the Hidden House Pai didn't have any direct conflict with Lin Yi, they just had some conflicts with him through the Xiao family. They didn't really hate Lin Yi that much. Right, I heard that there's a sect that specializes in assassinations. As long as you pay them, you can make them deal with people, just like assassins. Is that right? Zhao Qibing was a practitioner now, and as he walked towards the core of House Zhao, he knew more and more about the world. Saint Hall, there is. Boss Chu nodded. Master Bing, you're saying that we should ask them for help. Can't I? Zhao Qibing asked. Money is not a problem, I have some. It's not impossible. It's just that these people are hard to deal with. Unless it's absolutely necessary, no one would ask them for help. Boss Chu said. This sect is called Blood Cloak Underworld Sect. The entire sect trains assassins, but because of their uniqueness, they don't have many dealings with them. How much would it cost to kill Lin Yi? Zhao Qibing could only ask for outside help. Since House Zhao wouldn't do it, he'd hire someone to do it. I'll have to ask around, I don't know the details. Boss Chu said. Master Bing, if you've decided, I'll ask someone to help you contact them. But Blood Cloak Underworld Sect has a rule, they never leave empty-handed. Since they're here to discuss business, they won't leave empty-handed. Whether you accept their price or not, you'll have to pay them the travel fee. Otherwise, I heard that they killed a client who didn't want to pay. That's why normal people don't want to contact them. Oh. Then ask them how much it is. Zhao Qibing gritted his teeth. As long as it's not too ridiculous, it's fine. Alright, Master Bing, I'll contact them now. After confirming, Boss Chu went to contact the Blood Cloak Underworld Sect. In the afternoon, the Blood Cloak Underworld Sect came. They were two men in black, looking very arrogant as if they didn't care about Zhao Qibing, the young master of the hidden House Zhao. Master Bing, these two are the contacts of Blood Cloak Underworld Sect. They're both golden class late phase peak masters. Boss Chu whispered to Zhao Qibing. Two masters at the peak of the late phase of the golden class were this powerful. Zhao Qibing frowned. Wasn't this too arrogant? Boss Chu seemed to have seen through Qibing's thoughts as he whispered, they're just contacts. Contacts? Was that a master of the peak late phase of the golden class? Zhao Qibing sucked in a breath of cold air. This meant that these two did have the right to be arrogant. Although they weren't that strong, a master at the peak of the late phase of the golden class was just a small fry in the Blood Cloak Underworld Sect. Just how powerful was the force behind them? These two did have the right to be arrogant. They weren't arrogant because of their strength, but because of the force they represented. You two, I'm sure you know what I'm here for. Name your price, how much do you want to kill this person? Qibing put a photo in front of the two black-clothed informants. These two had the right to be arrogant, but Qibing wasn't very respectful towards them. He was a hidden house, a strong contender for the future head of the house, and it was impossible for him to bow and scrape to these two. How strong is this person? One of the men asked. Golden class late phase peak, the same as you two, Zhao Qibing said. Golden class late phase peak. The man frowned and looked at Zhao Qibing strangely before turning to Boss Chu. Could it be that your hidden house Zhao can't even handle a person at the peak of the late phase of the golden class? Do you know the consequences of lying to the blood-clad Yellow Spring sect? Target equals _blank. Chapter 1659. If we could do it ourselves, we wouldn't need to invite you guys. Qibing said unhappily, Boss Chu, tell them what happened. Boss Chu nodded and told the two black-clothed men about Lin Yi being poisoned by the 5-step powder, as well as the fact that he couldn't do it because of his family's decision. 7 asterisk, I see, if he's really a golden class late phase peak, we can do it. The price is 10 million, it shouldn't be too much to kill a golden class late phase peak master, right? The black-clothed man said faintly, think about it, if you don't agree, pay us $1 million and we'll leave right now. Alright, 10 million it is, but you have to guarantee that you can kill him, Zhao Qibing clenched his teeth. He'd just gotten some money recently, all from Yao Wang. He was planning to use the money to develop real estate, but who would have thought that he'd give out another 10 million all of a sudden? But thinking of the humiliation Lin Yi brought him, he gritted his teeth and accepted the price. If Lin Yi died, he'd be very, very happy. If the strength you said matches, of course he'll die. Normally, to kill a golden class late phase peak master, we, the blood-clothed Yellow Spring sect, will send a mystic class late phase peak master, he'll die for sure. The black-clothed man said, but, if you lie about your strength, you'll be responsible for all the losses. I'm talking about Lin Yi's strength, of course, but I have to remind you that he has 2 to 3 mystic class early phase masters with him, don't be careless. Qibing said, and from what I know, although this Lin Yi's strength is weak, he's a bit weird. You better send a few more masters, otherwise don't blame me if the mission isn't completed. Don't worry about that, we're always a 3-man team when we go on missions. 3 masters at the peak of the late phase of the mystic class, killing 3 early phase masters and 1 late phase peak of the golden class is a piece of cake. The man nodded. Alright, it's a deal then. Zhao Qibing swiped his card and paid 10 million to the man. He wanted to pay the down payment and the other half after the mission was done, but Bloodcloak Underworld had a rule. The mission was to pay in full, so he had to comply. On the other side, Lin Yi was on his way when Bloodcloak Underworld and Zhao Qibing reached an agreement. Lin Yi, Xiao Xiao, Tang Yun, Mr. and Mrs. Tang, Xiao Ming, Qing, and the Ice Palace Master drove 2 cars. One was the Mercedes that Qing drove when the Ice Palace Master came, provided by House Tang. The other was the big Cherokee that Lin Yi drove to the Ice Palace. Lin Yi drove this car to the Ice Palace, and now, Xiao Xiao and Tang Yun were in this car. Rock Candy, on the other hand, was in Lin Yi's car. Of course, she wasn't going for Lin Yi, but for Xiao Xiao and Tang Yun. Mr. and Mrs. Tang, on the other hand, were in Qing's car, and the 2 cars headed to the hidden house Tang's town. Lin Yi and Qing were both practitioners, and driving day and night was no problem for them, especially since Qing was a sky class. She didn't use much stamina, and Mr. and Mrs. Tang and Xiao Ming slept in the car when they were tired. So, a journey that would normally take 3 to 4 days was half done in 1 day and 1 night. But, on this night, when they passed an empty road, 3 men in black appeared not far from Lin Yi and Qing's car. These 3 men were the assassins sent by Bloodcloak Underworld. These people had been secretly studying Lin Yi's route for a long time. Although they didn't know their destination, they had analyzed the path they had to take based on the direction Lin Yi was going to take. And so, on this dark and windy night, the 3 were ready to make their move on this empty road. To be honest, the 2 speeding cars posed no threat to the 3 of them who were Mystic Late Phase Peak. They could just use their chi to flip the cars over. The 3 were obviously here to cause trouble, and so they unleashed all their strength. Mystic Late Phase Peak power was leaked out, and it was very domineering. Little Qing was in the first car. She was the first to feel the true chi leaking from the 3 people in the distance. She immediately frowned and stopped the car about 100 meters away from them. She used the car intercom system to ask Rock Candy, who was in the car behind, Palace Master, someone is blocking the car. 3 Mystic Late Phase Peak cultivators. At this time, Qing could feel the chi from the 3, and so could Lin Yi and Rock Candy. But, Rock Candy found it funny that 3 Mystic Late Phase Peak cultivators dared to block their car. 3 Mystic Late Phase Peak. Did they want to die? There were 2 Sky Class Masters in the car, and Lin Yi was an Earth Class. Even if it was 1-on-1, they would win without a doubt. What were these people trying to do? Were they robbing us, or did they have other motives? Don't expose your identity. Get out of the car and see who they are and what they do, Rock Candy said to Qing. Yes, Palace Master. Qing got out of the car after receiving Rock Candy's order. The three assassins didn't expect a woman to come down first. According to the information they got, Lin Yi was a master at the peak of the late phase of Golden Class, and there might be 2 to 3 masters at the early phase of Mystic Class beside him. However, they didn't think that it was a woman. Could it be that this woman was a master at the early phase of Mystic Class? Who are you? Why are you blocking the way? Qing asked indifferently. Where's Lin Yi? Get him out, the Blood Yellow Spring sect wants his life. The three didn't even put Qing in their eyes and said directly. Lin Yi heard everything clearly from the car behind. What was the Blood Yellow Spring sect? Lin Yi had never heard of such an organization. He had no grudges with them, so why would they want his life? When he was an assassin, Lin Yi did offend some organizations, but he used aliases. Those people couldn't chase him here and know that his name was Lin Yi. So, Lin Yi felt strange. He didn't know where these people came from and wanted to get out of the car to ask who sent them. You offended them? Rock Candy looked at Lin Yi and said indifferently. I'll get out and ask what's going on. Sky Class Girl, protect my wife. Lin Yi ordered. Chapter 1660. Bing Tang was speechless. Did I become your wife's bodyguard? But these two in the car, she had to protect themselves, one was her sister, the other was her junior, they were both very important. Saint Hall, no need to ask. Bing Tang said faintly, blood-clothed underworld sect, I know, it's an assassin organization that takes money to do things. These small characters are just executioners, they wouldn't know anything about their employer. Oh. Lin Yi frowned, so it was an assassin organization. No wonder he hadn't heard of it, he thought he'd offended them somehow, but it seemed like someone had hired them. Qing couldn't make the decision herself after hearing the three's words, she turned towards Lin Yi's car, ready to ask the sect master what to do. But just as Qing was walking over, the sect master had already opened the window and said one word very casually, kill. Yes. With the sect master's orders, Qing turned abruptly, and in the next moment, 3 mystic late phase peak mystic class masters had their heads separated from their bodies, dying with their eyes wide open. They didn't even know what had happened, they were already dead before the sect master could even react to the word, kill. The name of their sect was indeed true. At this moment, the clothes on their bodies had already become bloody clothes, and they had also died in the Yellow Springs. Saint Hall Lin Yi, on the other hand, only saw the weapon Qing used after she made her move. It was just a piece of silk, a small accessory on her sleeve. There wasn't a single drop of blood on it, it must have been too fast, or Qing had wrapped the silk with pure qi. Qing's methods made Lin Yi's heart palpitate, it seemed like the sect master and Qing had gone easy on him at the Ice Palace, giving him the chance to use the energy bomb to scare them. Now that he thought about it, he realized how laughable he was back then. If Bing Tang and Qing really wanted to kill him, he would have been dead long ago. At that time, Lin Yi was only a mystic late phase, and the 3 mystic late phase peak masters in front of him were beheaded in an instant. They didn't even know how they died. Let's go. Bing Tang didn't care about the 3 corpses on the ground and ordered little Qing. Yes. Little Qing got back into the car in front. Mrs. Tang and Mr. Tang were scared out of their wits. Little Qing, who looked like a gentle person, had killed 3 people with a wave of her hand. That. Just now. Mrs. Tang stuttered in fear. On the other hand, Xiao Ming, who had seen some of the world in the hidden Tang family, wasn't as flustered as Mother Tang. Holy Church, it's nothing, just 3 bandits, little Qing said indifferently. Don't worry about them. Their deaths are not to be regretted. Oh. Mrs. Tang nodded, a little scared. They're from the ancient sects, it's inevitable for people to die in a fight. Tang Juchen was shocked as well, but he comforted her. On the other hand, Lin Yi didn't feel anything. He just felt that it wasn't worth it to hire assassins to kill his people. It wasn't easy to train these three mystic late-phase peak masters, but they were killed in an instant. It was too tragic. He couldn't help but remember the two golden-class masters he met when he first came to Songshan. He'd pushed them down a ravine and killed them. Sihua and Zhao Qibing must have been crying their hearts out back then, right? There were assassins in charge of assassinations in the blood-clothed Yellow Spring sect, and naturally, there were people in charge of cleaning up the scene and disposing of the corpses. These people would usually wait for the signal from the assassin before cleaning up the scene, but this time, there was no signal. These people immediately felt that something was wrong and hurried to the scene of the incident. Sure enough, they did not see the corpse of the other party, but the three people on their side had been decapitated. They were dead. When the leader of these people saw this scene, he immediately called the higher-ups. This kind of situation had happened before, but this kind of situation where three people died at the same time was rare. How is it? Did you complete the mission? After the call was connected, a deep voice came from the other side. Brother Neng, the mission has failed. All three assassins are dead, and their heads are separated from their bodies. It seems like they were killed in one move. Judging from the scene, it's at least an Earth-rank master who did it. The leader briefly explained the situation without any emotion. They had seen this kind of thing many times. Even assassins would fail sometimes. Bring the corpses back, the man called Ning Bro ordered after a moment of silence. Yes. The leader hung up and ordered his men to move the corpses to a car far away and quickly left the scene. As for Lin Yi and the others, they were already close to the Hidden Tang House's territory. So you're saying that the Hidden Tang House invited Tang Yun's family because of you? They want to suck up to you, the sect master of the Ice Palace? Arriving in front of the Hidden Tang's gate, Lin Yi looked at the imposing manor, stopped the car, and asked Bing Tang. What do you mean suck up to me? Is it that bad? Bing Tang blushed and said angrily, can't you watch your words? As long as you know what I mean, Lin Yi shrugged. Something like that. Bing Tang was angered by Lin Yi and nodded, but it seems like Mom and Dad don't like the Hidden Tang House. Auntie doesn't like them either, so I have to reconsider the relationship between the Ice Palace and the Hidden Tang House. That's up to you. I don't have a good impression of them anyway. Lin Yi didn't like the family that almost threw Tang Yun away. If Tang Yun wasn't replaced by Uncle Da, Tang Yun would have frozen to death in the snow a long time ago. Lin Yi felt a little guilty towards the Sky-class girl. After all, she had suffered in Tang Yun's place. If it weren't for her fake ice heart, she would have frozen to death a long time ago. There wouldn't be the sect master of the Ice Palace today. Let's see what Mom and Dad think, Bing Tang nodded. You guys go in. Tang Yun, Xiao Xiao, and I won't be staying here. We'll be staying at a hotel outside. When is the birthday party? I'll come over then. Lin Yi didn't like the Hidden Tang House and naturally didn't want to stay in their territory. The day after tomorrow, there might be a lot of guests, Bing Tang said. It's fine if you don't like living here. Bing Tang didn't force him. To be honest, if Bing Tang wasn't the master of the Ice Palace, she might throw a tantrum and not like the Hidden Tang House at all. But since the Ice Palace chose the Hidden Tang House as their eyes and ears, they could only maintain this relationship. Chapter 1661. After Rock Candy got off the car, Lin Yi brought Tang Yun and Xiao Xiao to a random hotel to settle down. The three then decided to walk around the town. They'd been living out in the open on the way here, and they didn't have anything good to eat. It was all fast food, so Lin Yi decided to have a good taste of the local delicacies. Xiao Xiao was a foodie, and she loved to eat this and that. Seeing that Lin Yi wanted to bring her out to eat, she was very happy. "What do you want to eat?" Lin Yi asked as he held Xiao Xiao's hand. "I don't know, let's walk and see," Xiao Xiao said after some thought. And so, the three walked on the streets. It was a small town, but perhaps because of the hidden house Tang was here, it was very prosperous. Many restaurants were open at night, and there were all sorts of entertainment and business places. Tang Yun walked on Xiao Xiao's side, letting Xiao Xiao hold Lin Yi's hand while she held Xiao Xiao's. The two were Lin Yi's wives in name, but Lin Yi holding two beauties' hands was a little too eye-catching, so Tang Yun gave this opportunity to Xiao Xiao. 7 Xiao Xiao would return to the Ice Palace to continue her training after this birthday banquet, and she wouldn't have many chances to meet with Lin Yi. Tang Yun knew that she and Lin Yi had a long life ahead of them, so she didn't mind. "This restaurant, right?" Xiao Xiao pointed at a restaurant not far away. "It looks like the local specialty barbecue, it looks pretty good. Let's go here then." Lin Yi didn't really care what they ate, as long as Xiao Xiao was happy. Tang Yun thought the same. The three walked towards the restaurant, and coincidentally, another group of people were walking towards the restaurant not far from Lin Yi's group. "Young Master Yu, those two girls look pretty good." In that group, a blue-haired youth with a perverted look said to a bald youth. "Oh. Really? Really?" The baldy called Young Master Yu was a little surprised. This wretched blue-haired man was a veteran in the entertainment field. He had seen countless women. If he said that a woman was not bad, then she was definitely not bad. So he hurriedly asked, "Where is he?" "It's over there." Blue Hair pointed to a place not far away. "Holy Church, fuck." Young Master Yu widened his eyes and looked at the three people pointed out by Blue Hair. His eyes suddenly spewed red flames. "Take a closer look. Who is he? Isn't it that guy called Lin Yi?" The yellow hair was the first to react. "Young Master Yu, we're not afraid of him today. Blue Hair is an expert at the peak of Earth stage. Let's kill him. I don't think it's a good idea to cause trouble in my uncle's territory." Young Master Yu was a little hesitant. He was here to attend Grandfather Tang's birthday banquet. If he were to cause trouble here, his uncle, the head of the household, would definitely not let him off easily. Furthermore, there was an important guest present. If he were to ruin the guest's mood because of this, he would be a sinner, but Young Master Yu didn't want to let Lin Yi go just like that. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Under normal circumstances, the Earth-class masters of the hidden houses couldn't interfere in the battles of the common world. But this time, Young Master Yu brought an Earth-class follower because he was here to celebrate the hidden house of Yu's birthday. Although Young Master Yu was the second young master, he still had a certain talent in alchemy. He could also refine some low-grade yellow-level pills, so he gathered a few subordinates around him. Although Young Master Yu's alchemy skills weren't that great, there were pitifully few alchemists these days. Especially at the level of the hidden house and the aristocratic house, it was already good to be able to refine spiritual pills, let alone pills. So, Young Master Yu was arrogant. Being able to refine low-grade yellow-level pills wasn't something an ordinary person could do. Therefore, Young Master Yu usually had the chance to refine a few kinds of elixirs that could increase his strength. Naturally, there were some rogue cultivators who gathered around him. Their purpose was to obtain some elixirs to cultivate and increase their cultivation. This blue-haired man was one of them. It was reasonable to say that an Earth Stage Master was a completely different character from a hooligan. In their eyes, a hooligan was the same as a scum. However, in order to cater to Young Master Yu, they still dyed their hair the same color as a hooligan. What trouble? Our Young Master Yu is going to pick up girls. Who said that he is going to cause trouble? The yellow hair suggested. At that time, if the other party's people cause trouble first, then it has nothing to do with us. In the territory of the hidden Tang family, if they bully our young Master Yu's people, we will make a move. This matter is reasonable no matter what. That makes sense. Young Master Yu nodded and patted the yellow-hair's shoulder. It seems that you have studied with me in school for a few days. You have a lot of knowledge in your stomach. Let's go pick up girls. If that kid isn't happy first, then don't blame us for being impolite. Young Master Yu, the short chick in the middle seems to be Lin Yi's girlfriend. Let's not touch her first. Let's go pick up the one on the side first. That one is definitely not that kid's girlfriend. Otherwise, it would be somewhat wrong for us to hook up with his girlfriend. In this kind of place, we can't let others find fault. The yellow hair reminded. It just so happens that I like the one on the top. The one in the middle looks sneaky. One look and you can tell that she is a cunning girl. Just like that kid, full of evil tricks. The one on the side is pure and beautiful. Just my taste. Young Master Yu said, blue hair, you have good eyesight. How many years has it been since I met such a beautiful girl? If I don't get her, my heart won't be at ease. I won't be able to sleep well at night. The closer they got, the more young Master Yu felt that Tang Yun was incomparably beautiful. His heart was itching and he couldn't wait. The two groups of people walked to the entrance of the restaurant at almost the same time. It could be said that enemies were bound to meet on a narrow road. Young Master Yu, on the other hand, took the lead and walked towards Tang Yun. With the blue hair, an early-stage Earth-class master, he felt very at ease. Lin Yi was just a peak late-stage Mystic-class master. Killing him would be like playing with a toy. Earth class and peak late-stage Mystic class were two completely different realms. Don't think that it was just a difference of one level. In the end, the level was completely different. As long as the Earth class master wasn't too weak, defeating a peak late-stage Mystic class master was still very easy. Beauty, what a coincidence. We meet again. Young Master Yu smiled and said to Tang Yun. Tang Yun was shocked by the sudden appearance of this bald head. She didn't know where this guy came from. Chapter 1662. Moreover, Tang Yun had never seen this person before. Now that they met again, when had they ever met before? Huh, did you forget? When we were in Songshan, we were at XX Square. Master Yu was an expert at picking up girls. He was good at making up lies. He saw Tang Yun and Lin Yi together and guessed that Tang Yun was from Songshan, or at least knew Lin Yi. She must have been to Songshan, so he randomly mentioned a place in Songshan. 7 asterisk, normally, people without good memories would be confused by his ambiguous answer. They would even wonder if they really knew this person and if they had met him before. But Tang Yun had never been to XX Square before. It was very far from Songshan's first high. Before Tang Yun met Lin Yi, she helped her mother sell barbecue in her free time. How would she have time to play at XX Square? She hadn't been to that place since she met Lin Yi. So Tang Yun frowned and said faintly, "You got the wrong person, right? I've never seen you before." Of course, if it was a girl who was vain, when she saw young Master Yu's branded clothing, she might take advantage of him and say, "Ah, it's you." Then, the two of them would start chatting and get what they needed, but Tang Yun was obviously not that kind of person. Even if she wasn't with Lin Yi, she wouldn't do such a thing, let alone when she was with Lin Yi. Holy Church, I'm not mistaken, it's definitely you. Master Yu smiled. At that time, I said I wanted to pursue you and gave you a BMW. You said to think about it. Did you forget? Master Yu continued to use his method of picking up girls, attacking with money. The Hidden House Yu was a family of alchemists. Naturally, they were richer than normal hidden houses. Normal hidden houses had to consider where to get money from and think of ways to support a normal house to earn money for them. But the hidden house, you didn't have to do that. They could earn a lot by selling elixirs. Are you done? Before Tang Yun could say anything, Lin Yi opened his mouth first. He looked at the baldy in front of him playfully. He didn't think that his last bowling ball wouldn't have turned him into a retard, but he still came here to show off. Lin Yi was a little puzzled. Was this guy looking for trouble? After suffering so many losses, he still dared to show up in front of him. Wasn't he afraid of getting beaten up again? However, when Lin Yi saw the followers behind him, he understood. So there was an Earth-class early-phase master following behind him. No wonder this kid was so cocky. He thought that this time, he would definitely be able to take him down. I say, bro, aren't you being a busybody? Although we have some grudges, I met an acquaintance here now. It doesn't affect you and your wife. Why are you in such a hurry? Young master Yu glanced at Lin Yi and said unhurriedly. If you're done, you can get lost. Do you need me to give you a kick and let you go on a trip to space? Or do you want to play trapeze? Lin Yi ignored young Master Yu and warned him directly. You. Young Master Yu couldn't help but be angry. I say, aren't you being too arrogant? Kid, this is the territory of the Hidden Tang family. Since you can come here, I'm afraid you're also a guest of the Hidden Tang family, right? I don't want to make things bigger. You know what's going on. To be honest, young master, you could roughly guess the purpose of Lin Yi's sudden appearance here. Old Master Tang's 80th birthday. Perhaps Lin Yi was also here on behalf of a relative, but it definitely wasn't a close relative. Because the relatives who were close to the Hidden Tang family were all in the Hidden Tang family's banquet hall. For example, his uncle and brother. Only the second young master of the family like him would come out to have fun. The slightly more important people were all eating in the banquet hall. So young Master Yu wasn't afraid of Lin Yi having some powerful background. Plus, he asked around before and didn't hear of any hidden house having such a person, so he was even less afraid of him. Lin Yi, honey, is this guy crazy? Xiao Xiao glanced at young Master Yu and said to Lin Yi. Tang Yun sis said she hasn't seen him and he's still talking to himself. Is he hallucinating? Why don't you treat him? I think so. Lin Yi nodded. If you want to treat him, then follow him. With that, Lin Yi ignored young Master Yu and brought Xiao Xiao and Tang Yun into the restaurant. Lin Yi, Tang Yun. Young Master Yu knew the names of these two. Tang Yun, quite a nice name. At this moment, young Master Yu was even more confident. Since Xiao Xiao called Lin Yi honey, then she must be Lin Yi's girlfriend. Tang Yun was her sister, so it didn't have much to do with Lin Yi. If he went to pick up girls, he would be in the right. So, young Master Yu didn't listen to Lin Yi's advice at all and followed them again. Beauty Tang Yun, you really don't remember? If you don't like a BMW, then I can buy you a Lamborghini. Young Master Yu was always willing to spend money on girls. He didn't have a lot of pocket money, but if he secretly refined some pills and sold them, it would be a lot of money. It seems like you really are sick. I really have to treat you. Lin Yi said as he took out a few needles and pierced young Master Yu's body a few times. Young Master Yu didn't even realize what was going on before his legs gave way and he knelt on the ground, unable to stand up. You. What did you do to me? Suddenly feeling that his legs had gone numb, Master Yu jumped in shock. Although he was also a practitioner, how could he be as fast as Lin Yi? So, when Lin Yi made his move, he didn't even have time to react. I didn't do anything. I saw that you were a little hyperactive, and your legs didn't seem to listen to you. I told you to stop following me, but you still followed me, so I broke your legs. Lin Yi said faintly. Kid, what did you do to young Master Yu? Yellow and blue hair saw this scene too, but they didn't expect Lin Yi to do this. When they reacted, it was too late. They ran to the front, and young Master Yu was already kneeling. Kill him for me. Young Master Yu didn't expect Lin Yi to be so vicious. He crippled his legs in one move. Although he didn't know what trick the other party used, no matter what it was, young Master Yu was a little anxious. If he became disabled in the future, how could he pick up girls? Kid, what did you do to young Master Yu? You better heal young Master Yu quickly. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Blue hair was more experienced. He saw that Lin Yi just used a few needles casually and young Master Yu's legs were crippled. Target equals _blank. Chapter 1663. This should be similar to the pressure point techniques in the martial arts world. There should be a way to deal with it, and it wouldn't really be a cripple. So he wanted Lin Yi to heal Master Yu's leg first, and then he'd teach Lin Yi a lesson. Maybe it's already broken. Lin Yi smiled, you're not polite. What do you mean by that? Don't talk to him, he just stabbed a few acupuncture points on my leg, my uncle can take care of it. Just kill this kid for me. Young Master Yu was an alchemist, so he had some knowledge in medical skills. His uncle was also proficient in the art of sealing acupoints, so he wasn't too worried. Moreover, there was a reason for this. If he killed Lin Yi, no one would say anything. Blue hair nodded, no problem, Master Yu. You can kill me. Lin Yi couldn't help but laugh, just you. Yes, just me. Blue hair's Earth class early phase strength was immediately revealed. Kid, I heard that you're a mystic late phase peak. You think you're so strong, don't you? But what do you think now? Oh. Lin Yi responded faintly, and the aura of an Earth class burst out. Earth class, huh? Is it strong? I think I'm one too. Blue hair's face changed. He didn't think that Lin Yi was an Earth class as well, and had the same strength as him. Of course, the ones who were even more shocked were the yellow hair and Master Yu. They looked at each other, and the yellow hair said with some fear, You hid your strength again. I didn't hide my strength. Lin Yi said faintly. 7 *, impossible. When you fought me, you were only mystic early phase, and when I saw you at the school gate, you were mystic late phase, and when I saw you at the resort, you were mystic late phase peak, and now you're Earth class early phase. The yellow hair said in disbelief. Can't I level up? Lin Yi looked at Blondie as if he was looking at a retard and said, I'm always leveling up. Nonsense. Yellow hair said, how can you level up so quickly? Don't talk nonsense with him. I'll deal with him. Lan Mao felt that what Huang Mao said was meaningless. Even if Lin Yi used to be a mystic early phase master, Lin Yi was now an Earth class early phase master, so he had to be careful. Fortunately, he had been famous for a long time, and if Lin Yi was really as he said, and had just broken through to Earth rank, then he also had hope of defeating Lin Yi. However, at this moment, he was no longer as confident as before. In a battle between Earth rank experts, not only did they have to rely on the difference in strength, other factors were also crucial. For example, the quality of one's cultivation method, the level of one's martial skills, one's combat experience, luck, and so on. A battle between Earth rank experts wasn't like Earth rank versus Mystic rank, where as long as there was a difference of one level, they would be able to defeat the other. This situation was common before Mystic rank, but after Mystic rank and Earth class, there was a watershed. You couldn't win just by relying on strength, unless the difference was huge. For example, Earth class late phase versus Earth class early phase, or even higher, Sky class versus Earth class early phase versus Earth class late phase peak, there was a huge difference. So, he didn't have much confidence against Lin Yi, but he wasn't too worried either. You're also Earth class. I hope you won't disappoint me. Lan Mao's face turned serious. It's been a long time since I've fought someone of the same level as me. The Hidden House Association's restriction is really annoying. Now that I've met you, I hope you won't be a one-hit deal. Ha. Of course I'll do my best, you don't have to worry about that. Lin Yi smiled, but on the inside, he was very nervous. This was his first time fighting in Earth class. Boss Yu from before didn't count at all. That guy was a coward, and after getting blasted by him once, he was traumatized and didn't dare to fight him face to face anymore. What a joke. However, this Lan Mao in front of him wasn't that kind of person. He gave Lin Yi the feeling that he was very steady and deep, which didn't match his gangster look. This made Lin Yi feel an inexplicable pressure. Take out your weapon. Lan Mao looked at Lin Yi and said. Although young master Yu told him to kill Lin Yi as soon as possible, the opponent was still a master on the same level as him, so he couldn't just ignore it. Weapon? I don't have a weapon, Lin Yi said faintly. Oh. Lan Mao paused, not expecting Lin Yi to say that. Looking at Lin Yi's expression, he wasn't sure if Lin Yi really didn't have a weapon, or if he was just pretending. Your technique doesn't need a weapon. However, there were some techniques that didn't need a weapon, and Lan Mao's technique had one that didn't need a weapon, so he didn't think it was too strange and only asked. Technique? What technique? Lin Yi was a bit surprised. You don't know? Lan Mao paused and looked at Lin Yi strangely. Tell me. Lin Yi felt like he had overlooked something. He had just broken through to Earth class, so there were a lot of things he didn't know, but he didn't ask rock candy. Lin Yi could understand the weapon that Lan Mao was talking about, but Lin Yi didn't understand the technique. Huh, take this. Lan Mao didn't explain. He suddenly laughed and flew up. Both of his hands turned into eagle claws, and an inexplicable goo-goo sound came out of his mouth. He shouted, Berserk Eagle Thunderclap Claw. Along with Lan Mao's shout, the true energy around Lan Mao's body suddenly turned into a faint light blue color, and his opponent's claws seemed to have really turned into eagle claws, wrapped by a faintly discernible true energy. Under the effect of light refraction, it looked especially strange. Lin Yi's brows slightly twisted, and he immediately understood what he had overlooked. He also knew what a technique was. It turned out that this Lan Mao not only cultivated inner force, but he also cultivated martial techniques. However, when Lin Yi was in the mystic class, he had never heard of anyone cultivating martial techniques. Even physical experts rarely had special martial techniques. Previously, when Lan Mao asked him what martial technique it was, and Lin Yi expressed that he didn't know, Lan Mao was obviously very surprised. This meant that this martial technique should be a very common thing, and he didn't know. The only possibility was that this martial technique could only be cultivated by Earth class experts and above, and Mystic class experts couldn't cultivate it. However, in the blink of an eye, Lan Mao's opponent's claws had already attacked Lin Yi. Chapter 1664. Lin Yi suddenly felt an extremely overbearing aura pressing down on him, making him feel like he was suffocating. Lin Yi secretly cursed his bad luck. He didn't ask Crystal Candy about the Earth stage beforehand. He almost suffered a big loss this time. Looking at the pair of eagle claws, Lin Yi didn't dare to face it head-on. He could only quickly dodge backwards. If it wasn't for Lin Yi's Qin Gong, he would have been caught by the blue-haired man. Even so, the blue-haired man's claw wind swept across Lin Yi's face. Lin Yi's face suddenly felt like it was being cut by a carving knife. Phew! Lin Yi touched his cheek. There was immediately a bloodstain on his hand. It was obvious that he was bleeding. But Lin Yi secretly felt lucky. If he was caught by the blue-haired man, he would definitely be injured. The battle had just started. Lin Yi already suffered a big loss. This made him very embarrassed. Martial arts, he didn't have any martial arts. This was the main reason why Lin Yi suffered a loss. When Lin Yi was in the mystic stage, he often relied on his own tyrannical strength to fight with the opponent. There was no trick to this. Whoever had a higher cultivation would be more powerful, but now it seemed to be completely different. The opponent didn't fight you head-on, but used techniques to win. But now, even if Lin Yi knew the gap between him and the opponent, there was no other way. Even if he learned martial arts now, it would be too late. 7 * Holy Hall, Berserk Eagle Thunderclap Claw, Second Style, Divine Eagle Tail Swing. The blue-haired man didn't give Lin Yi a chance to breathe at all. At the same time, when Lin Yi barely dodged the attack, he made a second move towards Lin Yi. Only to see his body suddenly swaying in the air, like a black lightning, with a huge wind formed by true chi attacking Lin Yi again. Lin Yi cried bitterly in his heart. This was simply a scam. The treatment of individual cultivators was different from that of cultivators from clans and sections. He had suffered a great loss this time. However, thinking was just thinking. Lin Yi really had to face it now. He couldn't just admit defeat, right? Not only would that be too shameful, but what would happen to Tang Yun if she admitted defeat? Was it possible to let young Master Yu bring it back? Therefore, no matter what, Lin Yi couldn't compromise. He had already come to this point, so he could only brace himself and fight on. Huh, kid, you just broke through to the Earth stage, you haven't learned any martial skills yet, right? Blue Hair laughed out loud, but the eagle claw in his hand wasn't slow at all. It directly clawed at Lin Yi's head. Martial skills. Of course I learned them. Lin Yi naturally couldn't let Blue Hair know that he didn't know anything. If that was the case, then Blue Hair would be even more unscrupulous. Then wouldn't it be a one-sided abuse? Therefore, Lin Yi could only lie to him first. Looking at Blue Hair above him, Lin Yi clenched his teeth and activated the art of dragon mastery. He concentrated all of his strength on his right fist and suddenly rushed upwards, ignoring Blue Hair's eagle claw. Lin Yi thought that if he was caught, then he was caught. As long as he didn't grab his vital parts, then there would be no problem. He would slowly recover and give this Blue Hair a destructive blow first. If he didn't fight head-on, then he would fight head-on. If he fought head-on a few times, he could heal himself, but Blue Hair couldn't. If he used too many moves that would hurt both sides, then the one who would suffer in the end would still be Blue Hair. Rising Dragon Fist. Lin Yi didn't know anything about moves or martial skills. He couldn't think of a name in a short amount of time, but in order to trick Blue Hair, Lin Yi suddenly remembered when he was playing Street Fighter IV with Meng Yao and Yushu. There was a move called Rising Dragon Fist, and Lin Yi's current movement was very similar to Rising Dragon Fist. His right fist punched towards Blue Hair in the air. It was somewhat similar, so Lin Yi directly gave it this name. When Lin Yi said the name Rising Dragon Fist, Blue Hair clearly froze. He had never heard of this martial skill before, but looking at Lin Yi's move, it was extremely familiar. He suddenly remembered that when he went to the arcade with Master Yu a while ago, the characters there seemed to use this move. In reality, there were people who used this move. Originally, Blue Hair's Berserk Eagle's Thunderclap hand was very sharp, especially the second move, Divine Eagle's Tail. It was aimed directly at the top of Lin Yi's head, but because of Lin Yi's Rising Dragon Fist, it made him hesitate. He didn't know how to deal with it. As a result, his claw didn't claw Lin Yi's head, but grabbed onto Lin Yi's shoulder. In a split second, 5 bloody holes appeared on Lin Yi's shoulder. Fresh blood flowed out in an instant, and Lin Yi's fist also stuck close to Blue Hair's body, hitting Blue Hair's face. The powerful force made Blue Hair's body fly up along with Lin Yi's powerful force. Then, he landed heavily on the ground not far away and spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. However, although Blue Hair looked like he spat out blood and his face was swollen, it seemed to be serious. In fact, it didn't cause too much damage. The blood he spat out was only bleeding from his mouth from Lin Yi's punch. It wasn't an internal injury. And the swelling on his face was just an external injury. With an expert of the same level, Lin Yi just punched hard. He didn't hit the vital part, so naturally, he couldn't do anything to Blue Hair. So, it looked like both of them were injured, but in fact, it was Lin Yi who suffered some hidden losses. Berserk Eagle's Thunderclap Claw, a very powerful martial art. Lin Yi pretended to be indifferent and said faintly. In fact, he was stalling for time. Lin Yi channeled the art of dragon mastery to heal the injury on his shoulder. This claw was quite serious. Lin Yi's shoulder blade was cracked by Blue Hair. So, even if Lin Yi didn't heal the wound, he had to heal the cracked bone. Otherwise, it would affect the flexibility of Lin Yi's arm, and he would suffer a great loss. Rising Dragon Fist. You call that a martial art? After truly tasting the power of Lin Yi's Rising Dragon Fist, Blue Hair immediately snorted. He thought it was some powerful move, but it turned out to be just an ordinary punch. There was nothing special about it. It was plain and ordinary. It was just a bit like the Rising Dragon Fist in the game. In fact, it was just for show. It looked good but was useless. Thinking back to Lin Yi's reaction to the martial art, Blue Hair had a rough idea. Lin Yi definitely didn't know any martial art, but he didn't want to admit defeat. So, he imitated a move from the game and came up with the Rising Dragon Fist to scare himself. Otherwise, if it weren't for the fact that Blue Hair was hesitant about the unknown name of the Rising Dragon Fist, he believed that he would have grabbed Lin Yi's skull and killed him on the spot. Chapter 1665. Of course, this was just his assumption. Even if Lin Yi didn't make a move, he'd definitely be able to dodge the Blue Hair's claw, but dodging like this wasn't a solution. He had to face it head-on. The school beauty's personal expert, of course, there's an even more powerful move in a bit. After Lin Yi healed the injury on his shoulder blade, he began the next step of his plan. No pop-up window chi, an even more powerful move. Blue Hair blanked, but he wasn't in a hurry to fight Lin Yi. From his point of view, Lin Yi was just a practitioner who had just risen to Earth class and hadn't learned any martial arts yet. Blue Hair was 100% sure that he could defeat this kind of opponent, so he didn't mind playing around with Lin Yi a bit. One had to know that as an Earth class expert, stepping on another Earth class expert was a very refreshing thing to do. This kind of opportunity was quite hard to come by. Yes, it's called Vacuum Wave Punch. Lin Yi said. This was a move from Street Fighter 4, and Lin Yi casually used it to buy time for himself. Vacuum Wave Punch. The blue-haired man stared blankly for a moment before laughing out loud. I say, have you become stupid from playing games? Vacuum Wave Punch. Do you think you're playing Street Fighter? Oh, I learned this move from the game. You guessed it right. Lin Yi said. Congratulations, but there's no reward. Ha 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 ha. Then come, let me see what you've learned. Now, Blue Hair was completely sure that Lin Yi was bullshitting. He didn't know any martial arts at all. The so-called martial arts were just something he put together at the last minute to scare people. This move is very powerful. This move is very powerful. In the game, it's usually called an ultimate move. You have to be careful. It won't be good if it injures you. You said it yourself, you're here to celebrate the birthday of the hidden Tang family's elder Tang, and so are we, so, you know what I mean. Lin Yi didn't know why he was wasting time, but he needed time, so he had to waste time. The blue-haired man was speechless. What do you mean by this? Could it be that he wanted to beg for mercy? It's fine if you beg for mercy. Just cure young Master Yu's leg and leave your girl to us. Crawl under my crotch and we'll let this matter go. Oh, no wonder the master said that, like master, like servant. The master has delusions, and so do you. Are you indulging in fantasies? Begging for mercy? I think it's more like you begging me for mercy. I'm reminding you out of goodwill. I'm afraid that I'll kill you when I use my ultimate skill. You still don't know what's going on. Lin Yi said, as for the crotch, leave it to your young master Yu. He happens to be lying on the ground. His leg is broken, so it's more convenient for him to crawl. Why yeah. Blue-haired man, kill this kid for me. The two girls beside him, will split them. Young Master Yu was fuming after listening to Lin Yi's words. However, he was also waiting for Lin Yi to be so arrogant. This way, he would have an excuse to kill Lin Yi. Lin Yi was the one who started it, and it had nothing to do with him. Don't worry, young Master Yu. Blue-haired man nodded, then stood up and made a very strange posture in the air. He said, let me see your vacuum Hadouken. However, before that, I want to let you have a taste of my power. Berserk Eagle Thunderbolt Claw, Berserk Lightning. After saying that, blue-haired man rushed toward Lin Yi at a very fast speed. His body was like a berserk eagle, like a comet, rushing toward Lin Yi. With this kind of speed and this kind of power, ordinary people wouldn't have a good time if they were hit. However, Lin Yi didn't dodge. Instead, he clasped his wrists together and made a very strange posture. He shouted, Vacuum Hadouken. Boom! A loud sound, like a meteorite colliding, suddenly set off a monstrous wave of chi not far in front of Lin Yi, and the center of the collision was the body of blue-haired man. Along with this loud sound, blue-haired man's body suddenly bent like a bow. He flew out like a big shrimp. The clothes in front of his body were all blown into pieces, and his chest was a bloody mess, as if he had been hit by something. It was very scary. Bang! Blue-haired man's body crashed to the ground. He struggled a few times on the ground, and finally stood up shakily. Vacuum. Hadouken. Blue-haired man looked at Lin Yi in disbelief, as if he was looking at a monster. Before, when Lin Yi used the rising dragon fist, blue-haired man didn't think too much about it. He thought that Lin Yi didn't know any martial arts, but in order to put on a show, he used the rising dragon fist. Moreover, the power wasn't very strong. Therefore, blue-haired man didn't pay much attention to the big move that Lin Yi said. He thought that Lin Yi was deliberately tricking him. After all, words like, big move, were common words used by people who played games. How many people who practiced martial arts would tell their opponents that they were going to use big moves? Wasn't that too childish? Later, when Lin Yi said, Vacuum Hadouken, blue-haired man didn't even put it in his eyes. He knew that this Vacuum Hadouken was the same as the Rising Dragon Fist. They were both moves from Street Fighter, and he was 100% sure that Lin Yi was simply tricking him into using it. But, what he didn't expect was that Lin Yi's Vacuum Hadouken seemed to have the same effect as the Vacuum Hadouken in the game. With just one move, he was sent flying, and his chest was injured. He could feel that a few of his ribs were broken, and he suffered serious internal injuries. He couldn't believe that Lin Yi's moves were actually his martial arts. Could it be that he learned martial arts from the game? But disbelief was disbelief. The truth was in front of him, and blue-haired man had no choice but to believe it. Yes, there's still a third move, called Tornado Kick. Lin Yi nodded and said seriously, but in his heart, he was secretly regretting that he didn't have enough time. The energy bomb he condensed was too small, and it didn't cause too much damage to blue-haired man. However, to be able to condense such an energy bomb for so long, Lin Yi was already very satisfied. To be able to suddenly turn the tide of the battle under a situation where he didn't know any martial arts at all, and turn defeat into victory, this was already not easy. If Lin Yi didn't use such trickery and made up a few specious martial arts names, blue-haired man wouldn't have been so easily injured by him. Now it seemed that blue-haired man had obviously changed from his previous doubts to believing Lin Yi's words. From his point of view, this move of Lin Yi's vacuum Hadouken was really similar to the vacuum Hadouken in the game. It was a cheap punch out of thin air. Chapter 1665, Gift of a Villa, Pooh. When blue-haired man heard Lin Yi's third move, he couldn't take it anymore and vomited blood. So, this guy really learned the moves from the Street Fighter game. Blue-haired man's heart couldn't take it anymore. He was angry and regretful. If he had believed this guy earlier, then he wouldn't have been so stupid as to get hit by the vacuum Hadouken head-on. The result was great, he was seriously injured, and Lin Yi seemed to be fine. Holy church, even if blue-haired man wasn't injured, in front of Lin Yi's strange martial arts, he still didn't have the confidence to win. So now, he no longer had the intention to fight recklessly with Lin Yi. He looked at Lin Yi and said, "Good move, but the mountain doesn't move the water, there's still a long way to go. We'll meet again someday." "No need, we'll meet again someday. Don't leave today," Lin Yi said as he walked towards blue-haired man. From Lin Yi's perspective, this blue-haired man was definitely a big threat to him. As for Lin Yi's martial arts, he couldn't be any clearer than he already was. What kind of martial arts was there? It was just something he made up. Maybe this blue-haired man would go back and think things through, then come back for revenge. How could Lin Yi give him that chance? This guy was different from Boss Yu. Boss Yu was scared after being beaten by him, but this guy, according to what he said, would come back for revenge in the future. How could Lin Yi let him go? Let this guy go back. The Hidden House Yu was also a family that was proficient in medicine and elixir making. Maybe he would recover soon and come back to cause trouble. So Lin Yi didn't plan to let him go back at all. As for the others, they weren't the people involved, and they were just watching from the sidelines. It was impossible for them to figure out what he was capable of. Even if they went back and told others that he knew the Rising Dragon Fist and Hadouken, they'd only think it was weird. They wouldn't be able to figure out what Lin Yi's true strength was. "Kid, I'm from the Hidden House Yu, and I'm an important guest of the Hidden House Tang. You better think clearly before you make a move. Don't get yourself into trouble." Blue-haired man didn't think that Lin Yi didn't plan on letting him go. He was a little scared. He was aware of his injuries, and in his current state, fighting Lin Yi head-on would only lead to death. As for the yellow-haired man and the others, they wouldn't be of much help at all. A wise man knows better than to fight when the odds are against him. Blue Hair had no choice but to threaten Lin Yi. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was the kind of person who wasn't afraid of threats. The Hidden House Yu, in Lin Yi's eyes, was strong, but not to the point where he would tremble in fear. He had already provoked the Hidden House Zhao, the Hidden House Pai, and the Hidden House Yu. There was also the Golden Clock Gate. He was beaten to death by their master. At this time, why would he be afraid of the Hidden House Yu? Although the Hidden House Yu's power was stronger, Blue-haired man was just a follower of the Hidden House Yu. Lin Yi was afraid that blue-haired man would figure out the key point and find trouble with him, so it was better to find trouble with blue-haired man first. "Oh, then I won't kill you since we're here to celebrate the birthday of the Hidden House Tang's elder. However, the death penalty is unavoidable, but you can't escape punishment." Lin Yi said faintly, "If I let you go like this, how would I lose face?" Blue-haired man was relieved after listening to Lin Yi's words. As long as he didn't kill him on the spot, there wouldn't be a problem. The Hidden House Yu had a lot of excellent medical skills. After he went back, he could slowly recover, so he wasn't nervous anymore. He said, "How about I break one of my arms? There's no need to be so troublesome." Lin Yi had already walked in front of blue-haired man. Suddenly, he reached out and covered blue-haired man's head. A compressed chi entered blue-haired man's head. Blue-haired man only heard a muffled sound of thunder in his ear, and then he didn't know anything else. Lin Yi only blasted the nerves and meridians in blue-haired man's brain. Unless it was someone like Lin Yi who could repair it, blue-haired man would definitely become an idiot for the rest of his life. Young master, you didn't know that blue-haired man had become an idiot, but at this moment, he looked at Lin Yi with resentment. His eyes were filled with unwillingness and anger. 3 times in a row, he suffered a big loss in the hands of this guy. This made young Master Yu's heart extremely sullen. Moreover, the pretty girl beside Lin Yi also made his heart itch. It wasn't that young Master Yu hadn't seen the world, but he had never seen such a pure and beautiful girl like Tang Yun. Even if he had seen someone with similar looks, their temperament was much worse. How could those girls with makeup in the brothel compare to Tang Yun? So, while young Master Yu swore in his heart to teach Lin Yi a lesson, he also swore to get Tang Yun. Lin Yi brought Tang Yun and Xiao Xiao into the restaurant, while blue-haired man stood there blankly, not moving an inch. The yellow-haired man helped young Master Yu up, and the purple-haired man said to blue-haired man, "What are you still doing here? Young Master Yu left, hurry up and leave." However, blue-haired man didn't move an inch. The purple-haired man frowned and pushed blue-haired man, but blue-haired man fell to the ground, scaring the purple-haired man. What's going on? Young Master Yu, blue-haired man. As he spoke, the purple-haired man quickly checked blue-haired man's breathing and found that blue-haired man's breathing was normal. He immediately became suspicious, not knowing what happened to blue-haired man. If blue-haired man fainted, blue-haired man's eyes were still open, but if he didn't faint, he still didn't speak and didn't move an inch. "Don't worry about him first, let's carry him back first, don't embarrass yourself here." Young Master Yu looked at the crowd nearby and felt his face turn hot. He was, after all, the second young master of the hidden house Yu, and now he suffered such a huge loss. It was a huge humiliation. Yes. The purple-haired man quickly dragged blue-haired man into the business car with the others, and then hurriedly brought young Master Yu back to the hidden house Tang. However, the hidden house Tang was having a family banquet, and young Master Yu's uncle was in the banquet hall. Although young Master Yu wanted to vent his grievances, he could only wait in the guest room for his uncle and aunt to come back. Tang Jucheng and Wang Yujie sat next to Xiao Ming, looking very reserved. This was their first time coming to this kind of occasion. When had they ever eaten in a banquet hall of a big family like this before? Grandpa Tang saw that Tang Jucheng and Mrs. Tang were like ordinary citizens, and he let out a sigh of relief. These people should be easy to deal with and easy to satisfy, so he quickly gave Boss Tang a look. Chapter 1666. If he wanted to give something as a gift, it would naturally be best if it didn't have a name. If it already had a name, then was it a loan or a gift? Therefore, eldest brother Tang specifically found a newly opened high-end villa district and bought a villa. It wasn't far from here, only a few dozen kilometers away. No pop-up window this. How can I accept this? Tang Jucheng was at a loss. He didn't expect the hidden Tang family to give him such a big gift. Although Tang Jucheng knew that the hidden Tang family was trying to please him because he was Bingtang's biological father, he didn't dare to accept such an expensive gift. Mrs. Tang was furious when she heard Tang Jucheng's words. She glared at him and kicked him. Then, she stood up and took the villa keys and the folder from eldest brother Tang's hands. What's there to be embarrassed about? Big brother Tang said it himself. We're all family, and it's a greeting gift. If you don't accept it, you're not giving him face. Plus, they're just giving us a house. It's nothing to the hidden Tang family. No. I mean, we already have a house in Songshan. It's so far away, and we can only come here a few times a year. Wouldn't it be a waste? Tang Juchen was incoherent after being scolded by Mrs. Tang. He didn't know how to explain himself. That's true. It's quite far. I know what you mean. We don't have a car. It would be convenient if we had one. Mrs. Tang said as she returned the keys to eldest brother Tang. She said with some regret, "Big brother, thank you for your kindness. But we don't have a car. It's not convenient for us to go back and forth." Eldest brother Tang didn't know what to say. Was this Mrs. Tang someone who hadn't seen the world? She was simply ruthless. Although she said she wanted to return the keys, her words revealed one thing. That was, their house was too far away, and they didn't have a car. It would be inconvenient for them to come here. She was asking for a car from him. Damn, isn't she too greedy? Ahem. Grandfather Tang saw that his eldest son was stunned and didn't say a word. He immediately became anxious. If they wanted a car, couldn't they just buy one for them? Now, the hidden Tang family's main point was that even money couldn't buy rock candy. Yes, we're missing a car. Sister-in-law, tell me what car you're interested in and I'll call someone to buy it for you. Eldest brother Tang immediately said after being reminded by grandfather Tang. Hearing her mother's blackmail of eldest brother Tang's words, Bing Tang couldn't help but laugh. Her mother was really a genius. She suddenly remembered what Tang Yun told her that night about her mother. She sighed. Her mother had suffered for most of her life. Being greedy wasn't a bad thing. With Bingtang's current financial resources, it was easy for her to give Mrs. Tang 100 million to spend. Now that she saw her mother racking her brains to get more money, Bing Tang couldn't help but feel sad. She quickly said, "Mom, I'll buy you a car, you damn child." Mrs. Tang was furious when she heard Bing Tang's words. "Do I need you to buy it? If I want a car, Lin Yi can afford it. Am I not trying to extort more from Tang De Tu?" She couldn't help but say angrily, "Isn't it the same as you buying it? Isn't it the same as slapping her face? Can't she afford it?" Bing Tang was speechless. Did she buy the wrong car for her? She didn't know how her sister survived all these years. She had such a wonderful mother. Fortunately, she only enjoyed the feeling of family affection occasionally. If she stayed here all year round, Bing Tang felt that she would go crazy. "Yes, how can we let you spend money here?" Eldest brother Tang thought. It seemed that Mrs. Tang and Bing Tang had a good relationship. Otherwise, who would dare say that Bing Tang was a damn child? Then he would be a damn child. But at this moment, Bing Tang didn't speak. It was enough to prove the relationship between Bing Tang and Mrs. Tang. "I heard that there's a car called Bugatti. It seems pretty good. I have to reserve it. How about that one?" Mrs. Tang said after thinking about it. "What?" Eldest brother Tang was surprised. He didn't hear it clearly. He was usually focused on cars and didn't know much about cars. If it was a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, he would know, but if it was a top-tier sports car, he really didn't know. "It's just a car. I quite like it. How about I buy it myself?" Mrs. Tang said. "That's fine. You buy it yourself. I will give you a card when the time comes. Tell me how much it costs and I will transfer the money to you." Eldest brother Tang didn't mind. He thought to himself, how much could a car cost? Letting Mrs. Tang buy it herself would save him a lot of trouble. Grandfather Tang didn't know much about sports cars, so naturally, he didn't know how much they cost, so he didn't say anything. Only Tang Yuyu's mouth twitched as he looked at Mother Tang. He felt a little sad for his father. "It's over, this is bad." Eldest brother Tang didn't know the price of Bugatti, but Tang Yuyu did. He had heard people talk about this car when he interacted with the other hidden family's heirs. He heard that there were only 3 of them in the world, and each one cost 25 million. It was the most expensive car in the world. Mrs. Tang knew about this car purely by chance. She heard the grandson and classmate of the old lady who sold watermelons downstairs talking about cars. They talked about this world-class sports car. It was one of the most expensive cars in the world. At first, Mrs. Tang was shocked. A car cost 25 million. So, Mrs. Tang remembered the name. She didn't expect it to come in handy. It seemed that gossiping had its benefits. Otherwise, if she didn't know about this car, she would just randomly mention a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW. How could she get so much money? I think the car costs 25 million. I don't know if I can get it, but it doesn't matter. You can give me 50 million. Including the purchase tax and insurance, it should be enough. But just to be safe, you can give me 100 million. Mrs. Tang said. She could tell that eldest brother Tang was trying to please Rock Candy. Rock Candy was his daughter. If he didn't take advantage of her now, when would he? 100 million. Huh. Eldest brother Tang nearly rolled his eyes. Buying a villa last time cost him almost 100 million. Now, she wanted to buy a car for another 100 million. Did she think her house was a bank? Even the landlord didn't have any surplus food. Although his family was a hidden family, their annual income wasn't much. Now, 200 million was gone in an instant. She was spending money like water. Grandpa Tang's eyebrows twitched. Even he had to admit that this woman was ruthless. Chapter 1667. Tang Big Bro didn't lose his composure after all. He took a few deep breaths before he said, "Okay, I'll ask someone to transfer 100 million to sister-in-law tomorrow. You can go and book that car." The banquet ended. Mrs. Tang held the keys and bank card in her hands. The more she looked at them, the more she liked them. She was humming happily. Looking at her mother, Bing Tang really didn't know what to say. However, she really admired her mother's negotiation skills. In the future, if the Ice Palace wanted to cooperate with others, she would let Mrs. Tang negotiate directly to ensure the greatest benefit. "Sai, you have to take the car and the house. Won't you be causing trouble for Tang Tang when the time comes?" Tang Juqing thought more. "You have taken advantage of them. When the time comes, won't Bing Tang have to pay for it? It's just a small amount of money. It's nothing." Bing Tang was afraid that her father would worry, so she quickly said. Moreover, the Ice Palace's style of doing things was like this. They didn't force you. If you want to give it, then give it. If you don't want to, then don't. Wasn't the Ice Palace's trial deposit like this? Bing Tang wouldn't make any promises to the hidden Tang family for 200 million. You see, since Tang Tang said so, it's definitely fine. Mrs. Tang said, "Tomorrow, I'll find an agent to sell this house. After Old Master Tang's birthday, we'll leave." Ah. Sell it? Tang Juqing was even more dumbfounded. Why does this house still want to be sold? If you don't want to sell it, keep it and have children. Who would come here to live for no reason? Do you really think I want to buy a car? Our new house is doing well, why would we come here? Mrs. Tang said, "When the time comes, we'll take the money and go back to enjoy life. I'm also a rich woman." Ha! Bing Tang heard her mother's words and couldn't help but laugh. Her mother was really humorous. At the same time, in the room of the hidden Tang family, young Master Yu was lying on the bed. He looked painfully and carefully at Uncle Yu Xintian and Aunt Yu Xiaoxin who entered the door. What the hell happened? How did such a big incident happen? Who did you get into a conflict with? I just attended a banquet. How did it become like this when I came back? Yu family's eldest son, Enchanted, was very annoyed. Wasn't his nephew too good at causing trouble? Not only did he cause trouble, but he was also beaten up like this. The hidden Yu family's face was completely lost. Alright, big brother, let's not talk about Xiao Hu for now. Let's ask him what's going on first. Yu Xiaoxin waved her hand. She doted on Yu Coiling Tiger, also known as Young Master Yu, even more than Yu Xintian's son. This was also the reason why Yu Xintian did not bring his son but Yu Coiling Tiger this time. However, he didn't expect that this tiger right was simply a troublemaker. As soon as he arrived, he had a conflict with someone. Uncle, auntie, don't blame me. You have to stand up for me. Yu Panhu said with a bitter face, you guys went to eat, and we also wanted to go out for some food, so we went out. At the entrance of a restaurant, I met an acquaintance. Actually, it was a girl I liked, so I went to greet her, but her brother-in-law stopped me. He even said arrogantly that he wanted me to get lost. I thought that I was a member of the hidden Yu family, and I was here to attend the hidden Tang family's birthday banquet. I had to keep a low profile and not be too high profile, so I ignored him. In the end, he directly attacked and crippled my nephew's legs. Are you telling the truth? You're not lying. Yu Xintian looked at Yu Coiling Tiger and asked with a frown. The people around me can testify. Uncle, you can ask them. Although Yu Coiling Tiger's words were somewhat embellished, they were generally correct. It was just that Tang Yun wasn't an acquaintance of his, but no one could testify in this regard. Master, second young Master Yu is right. The situation at the beginning was indeed like this. That person was incomparably arrogant and directly crippled second young Master Yu's legs. The purple hair couldn't stand it anymore and was ready to teach him a lesson, but he didn't expect that he wasn't his opponent. Now, I don't know what happened to the purple hair, but it's like he's possessed and he's not moving at all. Yellow hair quickly explained. What? The purple hair is an early-stage Earth-class master, and he wasn't his opponent? Yu Xintian was stunned, and the expression on his face changed. That person is also an early-stage Earth-class master, and his martial arts skills seem to be very high, so. Yellow hair's level was too low, and he couldn't practice martial arts at all, so he didn't know much about martial arts. This wasn't something a golden-class master like him needed to understand. Earth-class master. He's actually an Earth-class master. What's that person's name? Where did he come from? Is he also here to celebrate the Tang family's birthday? Yu Xintian pondered and asked. That person is called Lin Yi, and the girl I know is called Tang Yun. Lin Yi is Tang Yun's brother-in-law. Yu Panhu said, he doesn't seem to be from an aristocratic family, what? Before Yu Xintian could say anything, Yu Xiaoxin exclaimed first. What's wrong, little sister, do these people have a strong background? Yu Xintian saw his sister's reaction, and his heart sank. If these people really had a strong background, then they might have suffered for nothing. Moreover, it was hard to say whether they would find trouble with him or not. I'm not sure about that Lin Yi, I've never heard of him, but this Tang Yun, she has a strong background. Yu Xiaoxin couldn't help but show a trace of hatred when she mentioned Tang Yun, she's that Xiao Ming's biological daughter. What? Xiao Ming's daughter? Yu Xintian was stunned, then isn't she, the sister of the Ice Palace Master? That's her. Yu Xiaoxin said coldly, back then, I should have just strangled her to death, and there wouldn't have been so much trouble. Luckily, she's Xiao Ming's daughter, so it's not a big problem. The main thing is, who are her sister and brother-in-law? Her brother-in-law is actually an Earth-class master. From what I know, she only grew up in a commoner's family, how could she know a cultivator? That's hard to say, but if it's really like what little tiger said, then we're in the right. The other party attacked first, we have no responsibility for this. Yu Xiaoxin said, moreover, the other party has the support of the Ice Palace, don't we have the support of the Heavenly Elixir sect? Didn't the envoy from the Heavenly Elixir sect say that he was here to help us? Yu Zhentian nodded after hearing his sister's words. Indeed, if it was really like what Yu Panhu said, then the Yu family couldn't be blamed. It was the other party who didn't give them face, and they were too overbearing. He was the victim. Panhu, are you telling the truth? You're not lying. Yu Zhentian asked. Chapter 1668, Very strange, uncle, how could I lie? This is a huge matter. Yu Panhu said quickly. But, although our Yu family also has the support of an ancient sect, they won't help us go against the Ice Palace for such a small matter. The other party's background can't be underestimated. Yu Zhentian sighed and said, at most, they won't look for trouble with each other. We can only suffer a loss. When Yu Panhu heard that the other party was related to the Ice Palace, he knew that his uncle wouldn't help him. Even if his family had the support of an ancient sect like the Heavenly Elixir sect, they wouldn't go against the Ice Palace for such a small matter. That wasn't realistic. But Yu Coiling Tiger wasn't willing to be taken advantage of. Thinking of Tang Yun's beautiful appearance and the powerful background behind her, Yu Coiling Tiger's eyes suddenly turned and a plan came to his mind. Aunt, Tang Yun and I can be considered old acquaintances. I like her. Do you think it's possible to let uncle decide and betroth her to me? This way, this can be considered as turning hostility into friendship. Our Yu family won't suffer a loss in face either. It'll become a marriage on top of a family. What happened before will be a complete misunderstanding. How about it? After Yu Panhu heard about Tang Yun's background, his original plan of playing around was immediately thrown to the back of his head. What he was thinking now was that if he could marry Tang Yun, then he'd be amazing. First, Tang Yun was the sister of the Ice Palace sect master. Second, Tang Yun was his uncle's daughter. This meant that he would have the support of both the hidden Tang family and the Ice Palace. With such a powerful background, his position in the hidden Yu family would definitely skyrocket. As for whether Tang Yun had a boyfriend or not, he didn't consider it. He felt that if Tang Yun had a boyfriend, she'd definitely bring him. She wouldn't be with her sister and brother-in-law. That was why he made this request without hesitation. Yu Coiling Tiger's request stunned Yu Zhentian and Yu Xiaoxin. Both of them instantly weighed the pros and cons of this matter in their hearts. Of course, letting Boss Tang's daughter marry Yu Panhu was a good thing. This way, the hidden Yu family and the hidden Tang family would be more closely connected and strengthen their cooperation. But what Yu Zhentian was afraid of was Tang Yun's other background, Rock Candy's sister. This background made him feel that his son's position as the young master of the hidden Yu family was threatened. If Yu Panhu really married Tang Yun and had the support of the Ice Palace, then what would he do if he wanted to compete for the position of the hidden Yu family? As for Yu Xiaoxin, she had the same thoughts as Yu Zhentian. However, she only thought about the benefits. As for who the young master of the hidden Yu family was, it had nothing to do with her. After pondering for a long time, Yu Zhentian decided to accept Yu Panhu's suggestion. Even if Yu Panhu had the support of the Ice Palace, it would be useless. The hidden Yu family was a hidden family that mainly focused on alchemy. Their main supporter was the ancient Heaven Elixir sect. They favored his son, Yu Panlong. So with the support of the ancient Heaven Elixir sect, it would be logical for his son to become the next hidden Yu family's master. Although Yu Panhu's position would increase, he would at most enter the Elders' Council. Little sister, I think Coiling Tiger's suggestion is not bad. Our hidden Yu family and the hidden Tang family are in-laws. Now, if Coiling Tiger marries Tang Yun, it will be a good thing. Yu Zhentian made a decision. I think so too. Then I'll talk to eldest brother Tang about this in the evening and let him announce Xiaohu's marriage at the old master's birthday banquet. Yu Xiaoxin nodded and agreed. Thank you, uncle and auntie. Yu Panhu was overjoyed. This way, he had regained some face. If he married Tang Yun, then everything before was just a misunderstanding. Alright, let me take a look at your leg first. Yu Zhentian waved his hand and lowered his head to check on Yu Coiling Tiger's leg. However, after a few glances, he casually gave Yu Coiling Tiger a few massages. Then, he took out a bottle of pills and handed it to Yu Coiling Tiger. The acupuncture points on your leg have been sealed by someone. I've already used massages to remove most of them. You just need to take this tendon-relaxing blood-activating pill. Yes, thank you, uncle. Yu Panhu quickly took the elixir that Yu Zhentian handed to him and immediately felt his legs regain feeling. After Yu Zhentian looked at Yu Panhu, he got up to check on Blue Hair's injury. Blue Hair was an Earth-class master. In the hidden Yu family, he was considered a master. It was best not to lose him. Therefore, Yu Zhentian didn't care if Blue Hair was Yu Panhu's confidant or not. He had to try his best to heal him because he was the head of the Yu family now. He had to consider the overall situation of the entire Yu family. If the hidden Yu family and the hidden Tang family became in-laws, it would undoubtedly mean that the relationship between the two families would take another step forward. In fact, most of the time, the marriage between families was for others to see. It didn't matter if they were useful or not. However, in the eyes of outsiders, the two families would naturally increase their strength if they joined forces. Those families who wanted to be enemies with the hidden Yu family and the hidden Tang family had to think carefully. When Yu Zhentian placed his hand on Blue Hair's meridians, he was shocked. His head is severely injured. However, after asking this, Yu Zhentian shook his head because it was obvious whether Blue Hair's head was injured or not. Blue Hair's injuries were mainly concentrated on his chest. There was no injury on his head at all. However, the results of the examination made Yu Zhentian feel strange. Although Blue Hair's chest was injured, a few of his ribs were broken, and some of the meridians in his chest were broken. Overall, it wasn't too difficult to heal. As long as he took a meridian opening pill and appropriate rest, it wouldn't be a problem for him to recover his strength. Although the meridian opening pill was rare and precious, that was for other hidden families. As an alchemy family, the hidden Yu family naturally wouldn't be stingy with a meridian opening pill. Yu Zhentian had a chance of refining this kind of pill, but the chance was pitifully small. However, the Yu family's old master could refine it, and the success rate was about 50%. For an Earth-class expert like Blue Hair, the hidden Yu family still valued him. It wasn't a big deal to give him a meridian opening pill when he was injured. However, the key problem now wasn't the injury on his chest, but his head. Chapter 1668. The head was where the nerves in the brain were concentrated. If the meridians were damaged, how could the nerves not be damaged? So, Yu Zhentian was shocked when he saw Blue Hair's silly look. Did this guy really become an idiot? Head. No. His chest was injured by Lin Yi earlier. Just now, Lin Yi used a rising dragon fist on his cheek. Could it be that this move damaged his head? Yu Coiling Tiger was stunned and asked. Holy Church, that shouldn't be possible. Yu Zhentian looked at the injury on Blue Hair's cheek. It wasn't serious at all. It was just an external injury. Even his bones weren't hurt. This punch could be said to have no killing power at all. What rising dragon fist? It wasn't caused by this move. Yu Zhentian's eyesight was very accurate. He was also an Earth-class master, and one who was proficient in medicine and alchemy. He was even more knowledgeable about external and internal injuries. Lin Yi's punch was really as he said. It didn't have any killing power. Lin Yi was just putting on an act to trick Blue Hair. Both of them were Earth-class early-phase masters, and had Jin Qi to protect their bodies. Normal punches and kicks wouldn't be able to do much damage to them. "Oh right, Master." After that, Lin Yi said something about not being able to escape punishment. He touched Blue Hair's head, and then Blue Hair became like this. Yellow Hair suddenly remembered the situation and quickly said, "Could it be that he used some special martial technique with that touch?" Touch. It can destroy the meridians and nerves in the head. Yu Zhentian was stunned. He had never heard of anyone who could use a martial technique with just a touch. And under the situation where there was no damage on the outside, destroying the meridians and nerves in the head. Wasn't this a little too magical? "So," he said, "how is this possible?" Blue Hair's head didn't have any external injuries. Could it be the legendary hitting the cow across the mountain? Yu Xiaoxin was also a knowledgeable person. She suddenly thought of a legendary martial technique. Holy Church, hitting the cow across the mountain. Yu Zhentian's expression changed slightly. This was a martial technique of that evil ancient sect, the Everyday and Everyday sect. It was said to be from the legendary Chrysanthemum treasured book, but no one had ever successfully practiced it. Could it be that Lin Yi was from the Everyday and Everyday sect? If that was the case, then there was a huge grudge. Of course, although the Everyday and Everyday sect was an ancient sect, it wasn't much stronger than the Heavenly Elixir sect. In recent years, the Heavenly Elixir sect had developed rapidly, and in front of the Heavenly Elixir sect, the Everyday and Everyday sect had to be courteous. But the key was Lin Yi's identity. Since he knew the technique, he must be a direct disciple who practiced the Chrysanthemum scripture. Would the Heavenly Elixir sect help the Yu family to hide from the core disciple of such a sect? Everyday and the Every sect. The sect. If it was a sect, then what, it would be. And, the ancient sect, too, and, the ancient sect, the Lin, 1, the ancient sect, 1, 1, 2. Everyday and Everyday sect, Chrysanthemum treasure book. Yu Xiaoxin nodded and said. Yu Xiaoxin nodded. If that's the case, then Lin Yi's background isn't simple. Yu Zhentian frowned, but suddenly said, "Wait." The disciple from the Everyday and Everyday sect who practiced the Chrysanthemum treasured book also participated in the Ice Palace's trial. He was crippled. This Lin Yi definitely isn't from the Everyday and Everyday sect. Yu Zhentian suddenly thought of the incident that had been spread among the hidden houses. Although the Ice Palace had given a gag order, the disciples of the hidden houses had more or less experienced it themselves. They could hide it from others, but they definitely wouldn't hide it from their own house leader. So, this incident still spread out. That's right. I heard he was crippled by a lone cultivator with the surname Ling. Yu Coiling Tiger immediately said, "This Lin Yi definitely isn't a disciple from the Everyday and Everyday sect." What kind of existence is the Everyday and Everyday sect? Why would they send a core disciple to celebrate? They have nothing to do with the Hidden Tang family. That's true, the Hidden Tang family has never had any contact with the Everyday and Everyday sect, so it's definitely not their disciple who came to celebrate. Yu Xiaoxin knew a lot, and she was very clear about the relationship network of the Hidden Tang family. Then there's no problem. Yu Zhentian breathed a sigh of relief. As long as he didn't offend the disciples of the ancient sects, it doesn't matter. Moreover, we're the ones at a disadvantage this time, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Also, the Sky Elixir sect's envoy is coming. With the Sky Elixir sect's envoy supporting us, even the Ice Palace Master will have to give them some face. The next morning, Mrs. Tang received a bank card with 100 million in it. Then, she turned around and went to the villa's sales office to return the villa. According to the agreement, although they would lose some processing fees, it would be easier to get cash this way. This villa was in the best location in the building. The Hidden Tang family had used their connections to get it. The developer wasn't too willing to sell it, but since the Hidden Tang family wanted it, they had no choice but to give it to them. Otherwise, the developer would have wanted to keep the villa for himself. And when Mrs. Tang went to return the villa, it was exactly what the boss wanted. Without a second word, she returned the villa, and even waived the processing fees. After all, the boss was also afraid of the Hidden Tang family's influence. How could he dare to charge a processing fee when she wanted to return the villa? However, he didn't know Mrs. Tang. When he returned the villa, he still called the Hidden Tang family's eldest brother Tang and told him about it. When eldest brother Tang heard that Mother Tang had gone to check out of the house early in the morning, he nearly rolled his eyes in anger. However, he maintained his composure and said, "Got it." Then, he hurried over to Grandfather Tang to report. Although he was unhappy, he did not dare to stop Mrs. Tang from checking out. All he could do was discuss with Grandfather Tang. After Elder Tang heard about this, he raised his eyebrows, but calmly waved his hands. "Forget it, if it's a refund, then so be it." The money was given to the Ice Palace Master's biological mother. Even though the Ice Palace Master might not be interested in it, we've already done her a favor. If anything happens in the future, as long as it doesn't harm the Ice Palace's interests, she will definitely help us. I guess that's the only way. Eldest brother Tang nodded helplessly. Isn't this Ice Palace Master's mother a little too greedy? Is there anything else? Isn't today the birthday banquet? I heard that the Heavenly Elixir sect has also sent an envoy to congratulate us. Aren't you going to make some preparations? Grandfather Tang asked calmly. This 80th birthday was the most glorious birthday that Old Master Tang had ever had. Not only was the Ice Palace Master here, even the Heavenly Elixir sect had sent an envoy to congratulate him. Chapter 1669. Chapter 1671. A joyous matter. He was only in Earth class, but because of his alchemist status, he didn't think much of Bing Tang. Plus, the Sky Elixir sect was used to being arrogant. So what if they had Sky class masters? If they wanted pills, wouldn't they have to ask Grandpa for help? What is it? I don't understand. Bing Tang frowned and replied faintly. It seems that the sect master is forgetful. The young headmaster wants you to be his wife, what do you think? The Sky Elixir sect disciple said straightforwardly, the young headmaster has already convinced the elders. With him personally making the pill, the success rate of the Jade Heart pill will greatly increase. Then, the sect master will be able to get what you want. Wife. You're a concubine, right? Bing Tang humphed coldly and looked at the Sky Elixir sect disciple. Don't even think about it. Even if I become a concubine, I won't go to the Sky Elixir sect. For some reason, Bing Tang suddenly remembered that she wanted to be Lin Yi's concubine. While she was angry, she wasn't disgusted by it. It was completely different from how she felt about the young headmaster of the Sky Elixir sect. Since the sect leader doesn't want to give me face, then I can only reply to the young sect leader this way. However, as for the Ice Heart Jade Bone pill, let me give the sect leader a piece of advice. Without the Sky Elixir sect's help, you're still dreaming. The messenger of the Heavenly Elixir sect was a little annoyed. Before he left, the young sect master told him to try his best to complete the task, but he didn't expect Bing Tang to be so tight-lipped. She didn't have the slightest intention of letting go, so he had no way to persuade her. He had prepared for so long, but before he could do anything, he was blocked. How could he not be angry? And so, the Sky Elixir sect's emissary began to hate the sect mistress. Thinking back to what the young sect leader had said, if the sect mistress didn't give him face, then he would use this opportunity to teach her a lesson and let her know that the Sky Elixir sect was no longer the Sky Elixir sect it used to be. They were on the same level as the Ice Palace and the Everyday sect. The sect master frowned. If anyone else dared to talk to her like this, she would have taken their life a long time ago. But this was the envoy from the Sky Elixir sect, and she felt a little helpless. She really couldn't do anything to him. The Sky Elixir sect had been developing rapidly in the past few years, and they had formed alliances with many ancient houses and sections. They were not to be underestimated. Although the Ice Palace was powerful, they couldn't afford to offend the Heavenly Elixir sect at this time. Therefore, the sect master could only wave her hand, and a wave of chi slashed across the face of the Sky Elixir sect's emissary. It was like an invisible slap to the face, and the Sky Elixir sect's emissary's face burned with pain. The sect master couldn't kill him on the spot, but she could punish him. He was just an emissary from the Sky Elixir sect, and not the young sect leader. There was no need for the sect master to give him face. As long as she didn't kill him, the Sky Elixir sect could only take this. And as expected, the Sky Elixir sect's emissary almost fell off the table. Even if the sect master didn't mean to slap him to death, how could an Earth class handle the power of a Sky class? The Sky Elixir sect's emissary's face began to swell up. He glared at the sect master with hatred and anger, but didn't dare do anything. He wasn't an idiot. No one had seen the sect master slap him. She was a Sky class master, and he could only take it in silence. But if he stood up to cause trouble for the sect master, then he'd be causing trouble in front of everyone. If he really did get beaten up, or even crippled, there'd be no way for him to explain himself. Therefore, he could only secretly circulate his true chi to relieve the pain on his face. Then, he took out a bottle of pills from his bosom and took one to reduce swelling and pain. Otherwise, if the dignified messenger of the Heavenly Elixir sect were to be slapped in the face by others, they would definitely laugh at him. The Sky Elixir sect's emissary took a deep breath, thinking, "Rock Candy, you're good. Just you wait, I won't let you go so easily." The birthday banquet also began at this time. After eldest brother Tang spoke a lot of words of gratitude, he announced the start of the birthday banquet. The guests presented their gifts, which was very similar to the Kong family's birthday banquet. The various relatives of the Tang family sent representatives to send gifts in order. The gifts ranged from antiques to calligraphy and paintings. Of course, the most popular gifts were elixirs and elixirs. In the blink of an eye, it was the Hidden Yu family's turn to send gifts. The Yu family's representative was Yu Coiling Tiger. With Yu Xintian's status, he naturally couldn't go on stage and present his gifts, so Yu Coiling Tiger did it for him. "Uncle, I represent the Hidden Yu family to congratulate you on your birthday. This is our Hidden Yu family's gift list. 15 Spirit Gathering Pills, 3 Foundation Establishment Pills, 5 Meridian Unblocking Pills, 5 Small Chi Gathering Pills." Yu Coiling Tiger reported the names of a bunch of pills. Of course, some of these pills were refined with the help of the Heavenly Elixir sect. For example, the Small Chi Gathering Pill was a yellow level 2 pill. The Hidden Yu family had a very high failure rate. The Lesser Chi Gathering Pill was a lower level version of the Chi Gathering Pill, but according to what Zhang Liju said, the original Chi Gathering Pill was already a simplified version. It was actually a Lesser Chi Gathering Pill, but the Lesser Chi Gathering Pill he was referring to now was even lower leveled. It only had the effect of increasing Chi, it didn't have the effect of breaking through bottlenecks, and so this thing only increased Chi a little more than the Chi Gathering Pill. But even so, in the Hidden House's level, it was still a precious pill. Good. That's great. Eldest Tang heard the names of the pills and was overjoyed. "Good nephew, wait here for a while, I have a big announcement to make while we're happy." "Yes, uncle." Yu Coiling Tiger seemed to have realized something. A trace of joy flashed through his eyes as he looked towards Tang Yun's table not far away. It was obvious that Aunt's words yesterday had worked, and Uncle's side had made the decision to betroth Tang Yun to him. Today is my father's 80th birthday, and I have something to celebrate as well. My long-lost daughter has finally been found. My third wife, Xiao Ming's daughter, was lost by an unscrupulous servant. It's been so many years, and I miss her all the time. Eldest Tang didn't even blush when he lied. Lin Yi really wanted to throw a wine bottle at him, but eldest Tang continued, Xiao Ming, Tang Yun, come up. Hashtag. Chapter 1670. Although it was more or less to support the hidden house Yu, and it was also because of the ice palace that they sent the messenger. But no matter what, the main character of this banquet was Elder Tang, so he was still very happy. It's ready. Oh right, Xiaoxin told me yesterday that she wanted me to marry her daughter to the Yu family's Yu Panhu. What do you think? Last night, Yu Xiaoxin said that she wanted to marry Tang Yun to Yu Panhu. Originally, Elder Tang didn't want to acknowledge Tang Yun as his daughter. Even if he did, he couldn't bring her back to the Tang family, mainly because of Yu Xiaoxin. Now that he couldn't rely on the Ice Palace, he had to rely on the Yu family's support to stabilize his position as the head of the hidden Tang family. However, he didn't expect that Yu Xiaoxin would take the initiative to bring this daughter back to the Tang family and marry her to the hidden Yu family's second young master, Yu Panhu. Tang Big Bro was surprised, but he was also secretly calculating in his heart. This deal was quite a good deal after he thought about it. His cheap daughter was directly married to the hidden Yu family's second young master, Yu Panhu. Although he wasn't a direct descendant, this was already very good. Yu Zhentian's son wouldn't marry Tang Yun with an unknown identity. So, Elder Tang only thought for a moment before agreeing. He thought that Xiao Ming wouldn't have any objections. She should be very happy to let her daughter return to the Tang family. Tang Yun, a commoner who grew up among the common people, suddenly married the hidden Yu family's second young master. It was like a pheasant becoming a phoenix. She was really lucky. However, this matter didn't count even if Elder Tang agreed. He needed Elder Tang's approval. Although Elder Tang was the head of the family, this kind of big matter still needed Elder Tang's approval. He didn't dare to make the decision on his own. Oh. Your daughter? You mean Xiao Ming's daughter? Old Master Tang was slightly surprised. Then, he asked in astonishment, didn't you always say that you don't want to acknowledge her? You were afraid that Xiaoxin would have objections. Why did Xiaoxin bring this up? I heard that Right Coiling Tiger knew Tang Yun when she was in Songshan City, and he expressed his love for her. So this time, he wanted me to marry Tang Yun to his beloved nephew, so he told me. I think this is good for our family, but I still want to ask for your opinion, father. Eldest Tang said. Just like you said, this is a good thing. This way, it can be considered that we have found a good husband for Xiao Ming, the second young master of the hidden Yu family. I heard that his alchemy skills aren't bad either. If he has some ability, that child won't be at a disadvantage if she marries him. Elder Tang nodded in agreement. These people took it for granted that Tang Yun would agree, and they didn't even ask for Tang Yun's opinion. As far as they were concerned, Tang Yun was a chicken turning into a phoenix, and they couldn't be happier. From Mrs. Tang's skills, it could be seen that her family's living conditions were just as so. Being able to marry into the hidden Yu family was a great thing. Lin Yi brought Xiao Xiao and Tang Yun to the banquet hall when it was about to start. Lin Yi didn't have a good impression of the hidden Tang family, so he found a random seat and sat down. Naturally, Elder Tang and Bing Tang hadn't appeared yet. These important guests wouldn't show up until a few minutes before the banquet started. This old Tang really knows how to put on airs. What's he doing? I'm starving to death, and he's not going to serve the food. Xiao Xiao said with a bitter face. She didn't have any intention of participating in a celebratory event like this, looking for good food the moment she arrived. Xiao Xiao's words drew the angry glares of a few Tang disciples, but those who knew Xiao Xiao's identity quickly stopped them. That's the Ice Palace Master's junior sister. If you don't want to die, then go. And so, the Tang disciples stopped. The Ice Palace Master's junior sister. Wasn't that the future Ice Palace Master? Who would dare mess with someone like that? Sure enough, the birthday banquet was scheduled to start at 9:00 p.m. At 8:50 p.m., Grandfather Tang, surrounded by eldest Tang, second Tang and the others, walked up to the main seat. After Grandfather Tang was seated, eldest Tang walked up to the stage at the front of the banquet hall. Unlike the others, he did not pick up the microphone. Instead, he spoke in a loud and clear voice, "Welcome, all guests and members of the Tang family, to Father's 80th birthday." Boss Tang was a practitioner, and his voice was loud even without a microphone. The crowd started clapping as soon as he finished speaking. Of course, those clapping were the bootlicking disciples of House Tang. Lin Yi, Xiao Xiao, and Tang Yun didn't care at all. Today is Father's 80th birthday. We are fortunate to have several honored guests here, which brings light to our humble home. Next, let us invite the Palace Master of the Ice Palace and the emissary of the Heavenly Elixir School. Eldest brother Tang said as he made an inviting gesture. There was another round of applause. Those who could attend the birthday banquet this time were all close relatives and members of the hidden Tang family. There was no one like Tang Yun's family. These people relied on Tang family to survive, so the sect leader of the Ice Palace and the Sky Elixir School's representative were here. How honorable was that? These guests also felt very honored. Normally, when the old patriarch of a hidden house celebrated his birthday, even the patriarchs of other hidden houses would be honored, not to mention ancient people coming to congratulate him. But for the hidden Tang family to do this, it was a huge honor, it was one of a kind. Rock candy floated over, but she didn't go up on stage to say anything. Instead, she sat down beside Elder Tang, while little Qing brought Xiao Ming, Mother Tang, and Tang Jucheng to sit beside her. The Sky Elixir Sect's envoy was a young man in his 30s, with an aquiline nose and sharp eyes. His face was a bit feminine, but he was very arrogant, as if he could sit on the same level as Bing Tang. After coming in, he sat down at the head table. He wasn't the young master of the Sky Elixir sect, but he was still the disciple of the sect's headmaster, and he could be considered the junior brother of the young master. Naturally, he had the right to be arrogant. Plus, he was already a golden level 2 refiner, which was very rare at his age. He didn't use the face-preserving pill, and he really was only in his 30s. He had two goals for coming here this time, one was to support the hidden house Yu, and the other was to send a message to Bing Tang on behalf of the young master, asking her if she still wanted the Ice Heart Jade Bone pill. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.